And
next, sino pa?
yes, we also invited Gilberto Leonardo, but currently he is infected with COVID-19. We also invited Gerardo Padilla, but we did not get any reply. Padilla, sir, former director of the Directorate for Reformation.
But he got our invitation. Is that confirmed?
Your Honor, there's no acknowledgement, but we sent our invitation.
Sige, sumusta? Meron pa ba? Sino pa?
We also invited Oscar, General Oscar Albayalde, um, former PNP Chief Guillermo Eleazar, and also General Leonardo Carlos. Kerwin Espinosa, sorry, Your Honor, we sent our letter, but no reply.
So with that, Mr. Chair, may I put on record that next hearing, these people should be required to attend.
Di ba yata tapos? Go,
Yes.
go ahead. Go ahead. Sino
We
pa?
also invited retired General La Peña and retired General Wilkins Villanueva. They promised to attend the next hearing, sir.
Are you sure you're comprehensive in your list?
Yes, sir.
Sino pa? Ayan na.
Not yet, sir.
Ayan,
We
that's it.
also
Okay, go ahead.
invited Mr. Guban. However, he just received the letter today and he is under the custody of House of Representatives. And then we also invited Mr. Kerwin Espinosa. Yes, but we cannot locate his address yet. So we will seek the help of PNP also. And that's it, sir.
Are you sure that's it?
Sir, we also invited Ermina Espino, but we cannot locate her address.
Wait, Mr. Chair, may I know the reason why Mr. Guban is not around?
He just received the letter today.
He just received the letter today.
Yes. We sent the letter to Quadcom of House of Representatives.
Mr. Chair, how can, may I ask the Comsec, how can you not, Espinosa, when he attended the hearing on the Quad Commission? How did he?
Your Honor, we asked the Quadcom committee secretary for his address, but he did not reply.
Who did not reply?
The Quadcom committee secretary.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Senator Bato, yes.
I would rather that next hearing, we have to require their presence, Mr. Chair, because I can only surmise with their absence that they don't want their statements that they have given before the House of Representatives to be debunked before this body, Mr. Chair. Ayaw nilang lumabas sa katotohanan kapag ayaw nilang pumunta dito. That's it. That's my only observation, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I just would like to amend the motion of Senator Bato that we issue a subpoena to Sustekon against all those who were invited but did not attend in today's hearing.
a correction daw. Ma'am Espino is here?
Yes.
Mina, so okay. So,
I'm sorry.
Subpoena at
Mr.
testificando. Yes, okay,
Uh,
ganito.
I'm sorry.
Okay, ganito gawin natin, okay? It has been manifested that Mr. Guban is under the custody of the House.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, they should have allowed him to attend. He has been requested by Senator Bato kasi
There is no
to be
record.
here. So the two others under the custody of the House are sick. Isa with COVID-19, isa undergoing a previously scheduled important medical procedure and examination. So we understand, we are reasonable people. Doon lang ako nagtaka kay Mr. Jerry Guban, bakit hindi siya pwede if he is under the custody of the House. How come the House did not allow us to have him here before us? my colleagues. So anyway, at any rate, the remedy of this committee, as suggested by my colleagues, is the issuance of a subpoena to all.
Subpoena at testificando. I stand corrected, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Siguro we appeal to the House that for those people that they know the addresses of, I mean, share the address. Share the address of these people. And then, of course, the committee will also exert utmost efforts to find these people and get their addresses. So, ganoon na muna. In the meantime, my dear colleagues, ganoon, we issue a subpoena to all those in the original list of invitees
We will
na
comply,
hindi
Your Honor.
pumunta ngayon, even those with excuse letters, subpoena ang susunod na issue.
We will comply, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, may I know what would be the next move that this body is going to take if after we have given them, issued them a subpoena, still they will not be allowed by the House, since the House is having custody over their living body. If they will not be allowed to attend before this hearing, what will we do?
I will coordinate with the House chairperson. Actually, I talked to Chairman Ace Barbers and nabanggit din naman niya sa akin yung medical request of Colonel Garma. Kaya I had an idea na may conflict sa schedule. But si Jerry Guban, I'm surprised bakit pa hindi nila mapadala rito. So, but we will coordinate. Siguro doon na muna. Okay, basta ang understanding natin dito, subpoena will be issued to those who did not, who were invited, or even those who we failed to notify. Subpoena na tayo diretso para sa next hearing, hindi sayang ang panahon natin. Sino ba dumating? Yes, Ermina is here. Can we ask the committee secretaries, kasi late dumating po si Ma'am, ano sir, Ermina Espino. Ma'am Ermina Espino, please, taking po tayo. Si committee secretary, go ahead.
And Mr. Chair, may I move that in the next hearing, we include in the subpoena one attorney Enrico Rigor, from the anti-illegal drugs group of Camprari.
Please, committee secretary, pero in fairness to Mr. Rigor, he was not invited for the proceeding. Pero diretso na tayo sa subpoena.
And also, Mr. Chair, another one to be invited is
sige po. Pwede na submit in writing. Pwede naman submit in writing kasi especially kasi new names po yan sila.
I remember that. Rooney Dayan, the former driver of Senator De Lima, Mr. Chair.
Okay. We'll invite.
I don't know. Kung nagkakulong, basta we have to.
We will find out the personal circumstances, the present personal circumstances of Mr. Dayan. Sige,
Yes,
Mr.
Chair.
Before that, since this hearing will entail a lot of time, siguro pwede na i-coordinate ng ating committee ang pakuha na ito si Guban dun sa House of Representatives.
Suggestion of our Senate President Pro Tempore, let's exert effort to coordinate with the House. Basta dito pa morningan, so ang hearing natin, we have to observe some kind of a discipline, make good use of our time, try to suspend our hearing by 3 or 4 p.m. this afternoon. Okay na?
Mr. Chair.
Okay, can we finish with this Pino? Baka malimutan pa natin. Let's administer the oath to this one person, late arrival.
Ms. Ermina Espino, kindly raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
Senator Risa?
Yes, Mr. Chair, pwede rin po bang maimbita sa next hearing ang DOJ Secretary Remulla at yung current chief ng PNP IAS?
Chief of PNP IAS, Dr. Attorney Dodo Dulay is here, and yeah, he's here, and ready siya. I
Salamat,
think he's
Mr.
ready. He
Chair.
also took his.
Salamat, Chief. And then si Secretary Remulla na lamang.
Yeah, Secretary Rimulya
Salamat
will
po,
be
Mr.
sent an
Chair.
invitation letter. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A while ago, you answered in the affirmative that we are now adopting the new rules. Perhaps, Mr. Chairman, to expedite the proceedings when we invite witnesses or resource persons, we should likewise ask for their sworn statements in advance.
Yes, we did. We did, but some were not able to comply. So depende na yung mamaya if given our liberality, we will allow them to give us the gist of what they know. Okay, so, okay, tapos na. Preliminary matters, tapos na po. So, given the nature of our committee, no, this is a subcommittee of the Blue Ribbon. So, the chair decides to hear first families or persons who claim to have been victims of this Philippine war on illegal drugs. Okay. Victim families. Ayun,
Chairman, would it be more prudent if, since we have the former president here, to give him the chance to have an open statement?
yes, yes, he will. Once he's recognized, the former president can give his opening statement. But can we hear first? Because the nature of our subcommittee, ladies and gentlemen, this is a broom, uh, blue ribbon, blue ribbon. So this is about malfeasance, misfeasance, non-feasance. Ano muna natin, let's introduce into our records first. What are the complaints, grievances, or observations, criticisms of the Philippine war on illegal drugs? Yun muna. And then we will now ask the former president as the president who declared the war on drugs to now to deliver his statement and his testimony. That's the idea, given the nature of our committee. That's it. So, but I forgot to acknowledge, of course, Senator Mark Villar is here and our Vice Chairman, designated ka na po, Senator Joel Villanueva, for this particular hearing only.
Yeah,
Mr. Chair,
Mr.
if
Chair.
I may. Yes, with all due respect, Mr. Chair, it has been a tradition during all committee hearings that we give courtesy to our resource persons to have their opening statement. So, Mr. President, Mr. Chair, I move that we give these our resource persons their opportunity to give their opening statements if they have it, Mr. Chair.
And Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead,
if
Senator
we
Bato.
add to the motion of Senator Jinggoy, if it is motion, if you look at the former president, he's already sleeping, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman. So baka mamaya makatulog dito. Please, kung pwede, unahin natin siya. With all due respect, alam natin matanda na siya and inaantok. Baka mamaya makatulog, Mr. Chair. Baka pwede unahin natin siya. Thank you, Mr. Chair. For humanity consideration, Mr. Chair, yun lang sa akin.
Okay, so there's an appeal, so can I suspend so that we can come up with a consensus?
Ba't yung sustik ang gabi? Ba't yung sustik ang gabi?
Chairman,
Session is hearing is resumed.
maybe again, recognize Senator, to reiterate the motion.
Estrada, yes.
To reiterate the motion. To reiterate the motion.
Estrada, yes.
To reiterate the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that we give the opportunity to the former president to have his opening statement. I so move.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, it was never the intention to deny the former president to give his opening statement. But on motion of my colleagues, we are going to give the president first priority now to give us his opening statement. Mr. President, you're recognized.
Before anything else, Senator, I'd like to thank the committee for inviting me. Para once and for all, malaman natin. I would like to request sa inyo kung hindi akong ituring president o kaibigan. Treat me as a witness and tignan natin kung lalabas yung totoo. So, your permission,
I'd like to start my mandate as President of the Republic was to protect the country and the Filipino people. Do not question my policies because I offer no apologies, no excuses. I did what I had to do. Whether you believe it or not, I did it for my country. The war on illegal drugs is not about killing people. It is about protecting the innocent and the defenseless. The war on drugs is about the eradication of illegal substances such as shabu, cocaine, heroin, marijuana, party drugs, and the like, as a menace which ruins people, families, communities, and relationships, and tears apart the social fabric which binds society together in peace, harmony, and brotherhood. It is not unlike slogans which serve as calls for a better future, such as a war on waste, war on corruption, and war against climate change. I have always viewed people addicted to illegal drugs as victims and patients requiring medical help and not as criminals. That is why when the war on drugs slogan came into being, coined as first as a message to the people of Davao City to stay away from illegal drugs, but at the same time, I had a drug rehabilitation facility constructed in Davao City, a city government expense, manned by Davao City government doctors, psychiatrists, nurses, and health workers, among others, to look after the complete rehabilitation of those addicted to illegal drugs. I believe then, and I still believe now, that rehabilitation and not fear of death or incarceration to be the key to the return of the addicted individuals back to the mainstream of a just and forgiving society. But no mistake about it, I hate drugs. I loathe the purveyors, the merchants, and the pushers of this demonizing element. I have not failed to emphasize this from the very day of the campaign when I ran for the presidency in 2016. This was my covenant with the Filipinos who believed in me. And to this day, must still agree with what in government have achieved. It is unfortunate that drug-related crimes are on the rise again. Every day you can read about children being raped, people getting killed and robbed. And just recently, a drug den was raided within the Malacanang complex. This clearly manifests that the purveyors of this menace are back in business. Ano? The Filipinos are anxious and distressed. Self-preservation is still the first law of nature. It is instinct. It is recognized in our laws as self-defense. That is why I have always told the police authorities and operatives to be mindful of this basic law of nature. However, I tell them not to abuse their authority and power. Hindi ko talaga pinayagan yung abuso ng pulis o sundalo kailanman sa buong buhay ko and as mayor for so many years and as president. In the guise of protecting themselves. But when your very life is placed at risk and it can be snuffed out in a matter of seconds, then and only then must you act accordingly. Repel the aggression only in self-defense. Alam mo, kasama ko nagturo sa aming bayan sa Police Academy. When I was a prosecutor, to augment my income noon na bago ako, nagturo ako sa police. Ang sinabi ko talaga sa kanila, when you are arresting a criminal, you are not supposed to request him to surrender. Rather, you have to overcome the resistance. However, pag ayaw, it's the duty of the police is to overcome the resistance kung ayaw mag-surrender. At kung may baril, at kung tingin mo, sabi ko sa mga polis doon sa academy, mamamatay ka, barilin mo. Barilin mo sa ulo. Patayin mo at least one less criminal in the community. Yun ang utos ko when I was a fiscal and I was a professor doon sa Police Academy. Yun ang turo ko sa inyo. No quarters given. No quarters asked. Criminal ito. Repel the aggression only in self-defense. Do not make orphans of your children and widows of your wife. I don't want that in my conscience as mayor and president. Hindi ko mabigat yan sa konsensya ko. I have warned, but before that, my job as president was never easy. And it was not meant to be. I have tried to do the best I can to address the problem of illegal drugs firmly and without compromise. For all of its successes and shortcomings, I alone take full legal responsibility sa lahat na nagawa ng mga pulis pursuant to my order, ako ang managot. At ako ang makulong. Huwag yung pulis na sumunod sa order ko. Kawawa naman. Yun ang gusto kong sabihin sa Pilipino at mabuti yaya ninyo ako dito. Once and for all, yan ang gusto kong sabihin sa tao. I have warned all of you as your president. Then, and as a private citizen now, drugs will destroy the Filipino. It will destroy my country. And I will never allow it. Maski ako empleyado sa gobyerno o private citizen, I will do what is necessary to protect my country, my community, at yung mga anak natin. This is a matter of principle. Papagtangatayan ko yan. Maraming salamat. I'm ready to answer.
Thank you, Mr. President. But now I think it's better to hear victim families. Then we'll open the floor for questioning and discussion. So, among the victim families present today is Randy De Los Santos. Randy, yes. Please give us your testimony.
Senator Pimentel.
Yes.
Senator Pimentel.
Yes.
I just want to make a manifestation, if you
Go
will
ahead,
allow
go
me.
ahead, go ahead. Sorry, Mr. De Los Santos. Yes, go ahead. Senator Villar.
I just want to manifest that the first request to our family when I just want to manifest that the first request to our family when President Duterte became president in 2016 was to build a drug rehabilitation center in Las Piñas. He came to inaugurate the drug rehab center. My only disappointment is that the complaint of the people that it is hard to be admitted in the drug rehab center. That's all, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Villar. Mr. De Los Santos. Try to keep it concise and direct to the point. Go ahead.
At sa mga resource person na naririto po ngayong umaga. Ako po si Randy De Los Santos, ang tiyuhin po ng napaslang na 17 taong gulang noong August 16, 2017. Nagkaroon po ng isang police operation, pinong tagapangulo, sa aming lugar. At sabi ho ng mga pulis sa kanilang report, ay bumulot ng barel, lumaban si Kian De Los Santos. Sa pagdinig ng mga kaso, hindi ho yun totoo. Napatunayan po namin sa korte na si Kian ay hindi nanlaban at pinatay, intensyonang pinatay ng mga pulis. Mga ilang araw, pinong tagapangulo, habang nakaburo lang aking pamangkin, naglabas po ng kasinungalingang statement ang pamunuan po ng PNP. At noon po ay pinamumunuan ng ating kagalang-galang na senador, Bato de la Rosa. Ang sabi po dun sa statement ay yung tatay daw po at yung uncle ay kilala sa aming lugar na siga, kinatatakutan, at nagbebenta ng droga at ginagamit po si Kian De Los Santos bilang tagapagbenta. Bilang tagapangulo, ito po, kilala po kami sa aming lugar, pero hindi po konektado sa illegal na droga. Kilala po kami bilang mga saksi ni Jehovah na nagbabahay-bahay, kumakatok sa mga pintuan at nagbabahagi ng salita ng Diyos. Marahil ang kagalang-galang na Senador Robin Hood Padilla ay makakapagbigay po ng kanyang pananaw sa kung ano hubang uri ng pagkatao kaming mga saksi ni Jehovah. Brother, magkasama tayo no. Kasama ko po ang inyong ina. Ginoong Tagapangulo, marahil po ang malisyoso at maling pagbibintang na ito ay nakaapekto po sa amin. Inalis po ako sa trabaho, Ginoong Tagapangulo, dahil sa maling akusasyon. May mga magulang ako, may anak ako. Dahil sa statement na yon, na di umano, marahil, pinanggalingan, ay sa Intel daw po. Laki-laki po ng budget ng Intel eh. Eh bakit po ganun? Tinanggal po ako sa trabaho. Dahil po dyan, binalot ng takot ng aming pamilya. Namamarkahan sa publiko at sa national TV na kami po ay identified bilang taga-benta ng droga. Noong panahon yun, nakakatakot na ho eh. Baka kami na ho isunod. Dahil po dyan, ang aking kapatid ay kinuha po ng Public Attorney's Office para dalhin sa WPP. Teka lang po, naiwan po ako sa labas. Ako ho ay tsuhin eh. Bakit hindi ko sinama? Sa mga panahon yun, Ginoong Tagapangulo, takot po ako. Dahil markado na po ako eh. Pero narito po ako ngayon bilang kinatawan po ng program Paghilom bilang field coordinator. Sa aming pong programa, Ginoong Tagapangulo, meron po kaming 312 pamilya na inabot na kapwa namin mga biktima. Lahat po sila, Ginoong Tagapangulo, ay pinatay. Pinasok ang mga bahay. Police operation. Sa akin pong pagtingin, wala po ni isa man ang iimbestigahan. Na dapat po sana, ayon sa batas, sabi sa Quadcom, na kapag ka po napatay pala ang isang biktima, eh dapat na imbestigahan. Kasuhan ng mga pulis at doon, hindi po ako nagkakamali, hindi po ako abogado, ito ang idepensa ng mga pulis na ito, mga alagad ng batas na ito, ang kanilang pagiging inosente. Pero nakalulungkot po, Ginoong Tagapangulo, na sa record po namin, may mga affidavit po na pinapipirma ang mga kapulisan at sinasabi doon na hindi na raw po sila handa na sampahan ng kaso o hindi na po sila interesado pa na magdemanda sa nangyari sa kanilang mga pamilya. Nagkaroon din po ng mga kasinungalan, Ginoong Tagapangulo, sa mga pampublikong dokumento, kagaya po ng mga death certificate na nangalagay ay natural cause po ang dahilan ng pagkamatay. Pero meron po kaming Project Arise na kung saan yung 5 taon na pag-i-expire po ng mga kapwa namin biktima na wala pong kakayanan para ipagpatuloy sila sa kanilang pinaglibingan, ito po ina-exhume namin. Dinadala ho namin kay Dr. Fortun. Kahit po buto na, nagsasalita pa ng katotohanan. At isa na ho rito, Ginoong Tagapangulo, Your Honors, ay yung matapos po yung 5 taon na renta po ni Kian de los Santos. In-exhume po namin yan eh. Tapos po, dinala kay Dr. Fortun. Akala ho namin, okay na eh. Naimbestigahan ako eh. Pero may bala pa po. At ito po yung on record. Maaari po nating tanongin si Dr. Fortun sa kanyang mga natuklasan. Ginoong Tagapangulo, ako po bilang kinatawan ng aming pamilya, ng aking kapatid. Nag-usap po kami bago po ako magtungo sa kagalang-galang na committee ito. Ano bang aking sasabihin doon, Tol? Ano bang gusto mong iparating sa ating kagalang-galang ng mga senador at sa ating tagapangulo? Dismayado po ang kapatid ko, Ginoong Tagapangulo, sa nangyari. Hindi pa po namin nakukuha ng buo ang hustisya. Kung maaalala po ninyo, 3 po yung aming isinampang kaso laban sa mga kapulisan. Murder, planting of evidence ng baril, at planting of evidence ng droga. Yung Tagapangulo, napatunayan na po namin ito sa korte. E tila maila pa rin po yata sa amin ng hustisya. Nanalo po kami sa RTC. May gawad po na danyos, hindi pa po namin nakakuha ito. Yung Tagapangulo. Ang kapatid ko ngayon na stroke. Kalahati po ng katawan niya ay lantang gulay. Sa mga bagay pong ito, Ginoong Tagapangulo, at bilang kinatawan ko, bilang field coordinator ng program Paghilom, nais ko pong ipabatid sa inyo na lahat po ng 312 ng mga pamilya na sa aming pangangalaga, hindi ho sila ng laban, Ginoong Tagapangulo. Ako po mismo ay personal na bumisita sa kanilang mga burol, ng mga panahon na nakaburol ito. At nakakwentuhan po sila. Naalala ko po, pahihintulutan po ninyo, yung binanggit ng aking kaibigan na Jehovah's Witnesses noon.
1 minute, sir.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Na Jehovah's Witnesses noon. Ang sabi daw po ay, kapag ka namatay ang isang tao, makikilala mo kung sino siya. Sa burol, buti nga. Namatay yung tao niya, napakasalbahe niyan eh. Pero kapag ka namatay pa ang isang tao, sasabihin, sayang, nakakapanghinayang, napakabuting tao niya, tumutulong. Marahil ito po ang naobserbahan ng ating mga media na naririto, na halos 2 linggo nag-cover sa burol ni Kian. Marahil po nagtanong-tanong kayo, bilang tagapangulo, sa karakter ni Kian de los Santos. Hindi ho siya. Wala ho siya sa listahan. Hindi po siya ginawang tagapangulo. Nagbebenta ng boto. Inosente po at nag-aaral po ang aking pamangkin sa isang pribadong paaralan na kahit po medyo may kataasan ay ginagapang po ng aming pamilya. Nasa ibang bansa ang aking hipag upang mangibang bayan, OFW po, para maglaan ng pangangailangan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po.
Mr. Randy de los Santos. Pero pwede po kayo mag-execute ng affidavit kung lahat ng gusto niyo ikwento, pwede niyo pa ilagay. Can we now listen to the next victim family?
The next question,
Sabay-sabay na natin.
baka makalimutan mo yan. Habang presko pa sa utak natin.
Okay.
Short
Then,
question.
can I suspend for a minute? Okay, hearing is resumed. Senator Bato de la Rosa is recognized.
Yes, Mr. Chair. First of all, I would like to express my condolences to Mr. Randy de los Santos. Alam po nyo, nung nabatay si Kian, ako galit na galit talaga. Sino mong maniwala na bata nagtutulak ng droga, pinatay? Eh, ako may anak rin ako. Kung mangyari yun sa anak ko, galit na galit ako, Mr. Chair. Kaya ako, I tried my best talaga na yung kaso na yan, kasi bakal, binaril. So, kailangan managot talagang gumawa niyan. Pero meron akong nasabi, if I can fully remember. Sinabi ko, nung tinanong ko yung mga nakabaril kay Kian, sir, ang explanation na sa akin, kaya nangyari yun, sir, dahil yung meron kaming nahuli na po, sir, na isa dyan sa Caloocan, at itinuro yung isang babae na tumboy na pinanggalingan na kanyang droga. Tapos, ang sabi nung puso na nahuli namin, sir, yung droga nung tumboy na yan, masyadong madiskarte, hindi siya nagbibigay direkta sa amin ng supply. Dinadaan ko sa tindahan ni Kian, kung saan si Kian nagbabantay, iniiwan doon, at pinipick up lang, si Kian wala namang alam doon sa droga kung droga yon. Basta iiwan lang doon, kung si Kian nagbabantay ng tindahan, iniiwan sa tindahan, doon pinipick up namin yung droga, galing sa yung suspect na puser na tumboy. Kaya sir, nadamay si Kian. Sabi ko, bakit nyo binaril? Wala, hindi na masagot. Pero actually sir, doon talaga sa tindahan ni Kian namin kinukuha. And ako'y nagtataka, bakit did I mention the name of a certain Randy de los Santos as involved in drugs? Ang alam ko noon, nabanggit ko during one of my interviews, na yung sabi ng pulis, na Caloocan, na ngayon nakakulong, sir, yung tatay ni Kian mismo, sir, tingnan mo yung mukha. nauubos na yung ngipin, nauubos na yung gums sa gagamit ng droga, ayusin ng tatay. Yan tanong ko nga, bakit hindi ang tatay pumunta dito? Bakit yung uncle ang nagreklamo? Yun ang sabi sa akin ng pulis. What can I do? I received that information. Sir, tingnan mo, interview yung tatay ni Kian. Tingnan yung mukha. Tunaw na tunaw yung panga. Tunaw na tunaw yung ngipin. Ayusin yan, sir. Sabi sa akin ng police operative ng Caloocan. So, senior ko lang rin sa media. Dahil kita-kita naman kung tingnan mo. Kaya nga, bakit na-involve yung uncle, I don't think, I'm not sure. Please refresh me, my memory kung nabanggit ko yung pangalan of Mr. Juan Randy de los Santos as involved in drugs. I cannot remember, Mr. Chair. I just hope this body can be enlightened. Dahil that's why I insisted to respond, Mr. Chair. Although ayaw mo akong i-interpolate yung ating witness, but anyway, if that is the ground rules of this committee, I submit, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
We will interpolate all of them together, Mr. President. Suspend. You please assume that I thank Senator Padilla for reminding this representation that his name was also mentioned. So, if he wants to react, go ahead.
Maraming salamat po, Chairman. Ito ko lamang kung patunayan, una-una, na ang mga Jehovah's Witness po ay non-political. Never sila na-involved sa politika. Pangalawa po, naiintindihan ko po kayo. Nararamdaman ko po yung nararamdaman po ninyo dahil ang kapatid ko po, once upon a time, napatay din po. Siya din po ay binansagan ng Carnap King. So, naiintindihan ko po, nararamdaman ko po ang sakit dahil nung nangyari po ito, ako po ay napakabata pa. Yung tinatay ng aking kapatid. Sinabing siya ay Carnap King. Siya po ay ganun din, summary executed. Naiintindihan ko po kayo. Nakikiisa po ako sa iyo. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po, Senator Padilla. Can we, makinig tayo naman sa testimony po ng isa pang nagkiklaim na victim family po sila. Ma'am Gonzales, Christina Gonzales. Sige po, bigyan ko kayo ng mga 5 minuto, more or less.
Magandang umaga po sa mga.
You can remove your face mask.
Ako po si Christina Gonzales po, asawa ni Vito Gonzales ng taga-Antipolo po. Tulad po nung sinabi nila, ang alam po ng lahat, nagbebenta po kami ng droga. Opo, totoo po yun. Pero po yung ibinibenta po namin, galing po talaga po sa pulis. Kaya po malakas din po ang loob namin ng mga panahon na yun na magbenta dahil nga po galing sa kanila. Na kumbaga, wag daw po kaming matakot na mahuli o ano nga po dahil nga po galing sa kanila. Pero nung nga po nasabing maglilinis na nga daw po, sinabihan po nila yung asawa ko na paalisin ko na daw po ng Antipolo kasi nga maglilinis na nga daw po ng mga panahon ng 2016. Pero hindi po umalis yung asawa ko. Dahil ang sabi niya po, baka daw po lumamig lang, hindi naman po siya para galawin. Pero yun nga po, July 5, kinuha na lang po siya sa bahay, sabi nga po maglilipat bahay lang. Pero hindi na po nakauwi yun. Nabalitaan ko na lang nga po gano'n, nasa mote na nga daw po.
Oh. Tapos ka na. Kailan kayo nag-umpisa magbenta ng droga?
Bali ano po, nung 2015, 2016 po.
2015, hindi pa presidente si President Duterte.
Hindi pa po.
Ha? Hindi pa. Sino, ma-identify ko kung sino yung kinukuha mo ng drugs sa mga polis?
Yung nagbibigay po sa amin ng droga.
Kilala mo?
Opo.
Sino?
Si Sir Allen Cadag po.
Who?
Allen
Pulis-
Cadag.
pulis siya?
Opo, Pulis Antipolo po.
Police Antipolo. Oh, maybe we can invite him here. Mr. Chair. Sino pa? Bukod dun sa police na yun.
Yung sa asawa ko po sir kasi hindi ko masyadong kilala po kasi nagbibigay sa kanya.
Eh, asawa mo, napatay na?
Opo yung pinatay po nila.
So, sino pa yung mga kilala mo mga police na kinukunan din yun ng droga? At pinibenta
Yung
din
po
yung
sir, madalas po magsama sa asawa ko nun si Sir Olaco po at saka si basta yun po yung nagsasama po sa asawa ko nun na madalas po nilang pinaglilinis nga daw po ng mga dugo sa sasakyan. Kasi nga po kapag may mga pinapatay po sila, yun po yung sasakyan na nililinis ng asawa ko. Yan po. Kasi nga po kapag...
Sige po, nagtanong lang kami kasi masyadong maiksi yung ano mo. So, actually, nag-give ka pa ng July 5, pero anong taon? Pakibagit ang taon? 2016. Actually, nag-give ka pa ng July 5, pero anong taon? Pakibagit ang taon?
2016 po.
2016, okay. So, July 5, 2016, ang binanggit mo, asawa, pero anong pangalan ng asawa mo? Ulitin.
Si Lito Gonzales po.
Si Lito Gonzales.
Mr. Chair.
And Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman.
this is also to clarify. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, this is also to clarify the statements made by our research person. Yung timeline lang, Mr. Chairman, I think that's important. Kailan napatay yung kanyang asawa, kailan po yung hanggang kailan po siya nagbebenta ng droga na binibigay ng pulis. Siguro yun.
Sige ma'am, fill in the blanks natin ma'am. Ang tanong ni Santo Villanueva, kailan kayo nag-umpisa ng nagbenta ng droga dahil sinusuplayan kayo ng pulis? Umpisa at saka dulo, yung huli. Sige po, Mike.
2015 po hanggang 2016 nga po ng June. Kasi po July, tigil na po talaga yung asawa ko.
2015, anong month?
March po yun.
March. Okay, sige po. Okay. Thank you. At least medyo na, yes, sir, parang nang
Thank
mag-fill
you,
up lang
Mr.
ng ano.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Nag-attempt ka ba na i-report sa otoridad yung pulis na nagbibenta ng droga at nagtakot sa asawa mo?
Ano na nga po kami, nagsampa na po kami ng kaso sa kanila.
Kailan?
Ay, yung protection order ko po pala.
Yung pulis na yun, nasasabi, ano pangalan no?
Yung nagbibigay po sa amin.
Yes,
Allen Cadag.
Alin Cadas.
Cadag.
Kadag. Mr. Chair, can we invite that certain Alin Cadag? And to continue, Mr. Chair, magkakaalam mo, nasaan siya ngayon? Yung pulis na yan. Kasi, alam mo, kung nagsumbong ka sana sa otoridad, alam mo ba yung nangyari noon na lahat ng mga ninja cops pinaghahabol namin, lahat ng ninja cops na wala kaming makuhang ebidensya para ma-pin down sa administratively or criminally. Pero meron siyang report na siya yung ninja cop. Ay pinagtatapo namin sa Mindanao. Sulo, Basilan, Tawi-Tawi, Maguindanao. Pinagtatapo namin doon para matanggal dito sa lugar niyo para hindi na makapag-operate ng droga. Sana nag-report kayo sa otoridad. Alam, Chief of Police.
Inaalis na po kasi ako ng antipolo ng sir kasi nga daw po, isusunod na ako ng papatay.
Kung natakot ka, sorry kung natakot ka, basta you should have reported that to us para matanggal yung mga tao niyo.
Mr.
Sige,
Chair.
ma'am, tinatanong ka lang namin kasi para lang may added details kami. Pero actually, ang aking request siguro, since si Attorney Shaljob mo, I think, parang dinidibong ko na rin naman sarili mo sa pagtulong sa mga ganitong klaseng victims eh. Pwede bang pakitulungan kami, gawa ng affidavit si Ma'am Gonzales para nandun na lang, orderly yung kanyang kwento. Pwede ba yan? Attorney
Ay abogado po siya.
may abogado siya. Sino po abogado niyo, Ma'am Gonzales?
Ako hindi nabigyan.
Andito ba siya ngayon?
Wala po.
So, ayun, sige, makiusap na lang po tayo sa kanya. Gawa kayo ng affidavit para alam na namin yung basic ko na kwento, pero kung mga detalye nandun din.
Mr.
So, with the permission of Senator Padilla, i-disperse muna tayo. Sige, Senator Rodriguez.
Salamat kayo, Mr. Chair. Senator Robin. Isang dagdag na detalye, Ms. Cristina. Sino naman po yung pulis na may-ari ng kotse na nililinis nyo para malinis yung tubo?
Ano po kay Marlon Olaco po at kay Sir Baste, kung tawagin nga lang po niya.
Marlon Olaco at Sir Baste. Ano pong apelyido ni Sir Baste?
Ay, yun lang po yung alam ko po sa sinasabi ng account.
Si Marlon Olaco ba ay pulis at si Sir Baste ay pulis din? So pareho pong pulis. Mr. Chair, kung pwede lang quickly matanong yung PNP resource persons natin kung yung Marlon Olaco at yung Sir Baste, kung kilala nila ay nasa active service pa. Kung sino pong pwedeng matanong sa PNP.
Ayun, and mga retired na po to. Sino ang ating Kausek? Sino ang from PNP ngayon na nasa HQ na invited natin? Na present.
Siguro, Chair.
Sige.
Baka sa susunod na
Yes, we will if we will ask the PNP HQ to have also a representative here, but yung sa time gap natin, we will write them to confirm.
Salamat, Mr. Chair.
Sige, Senator Padilla, what was your point?
Maraming salamat po, Chairman. Gusto ko lamang pong sundan yung sinabi ng ating pong resource speaker, si Ms. Cristina M. Gonzales. Yun po yung nilalaman po ng aking paunang salita kanina. Na tunay po talaga na nagkakaroon po ng paglilinis. Yun po yung sinasabi niya na pagka magpapalit ng administrasyon, kaya po kanina, pinag-uusapan natin yung 2015 hanggang 2016. Kasi noong 2015 po, yun na po yung umpisa ng tinatawag nating paglilinis ng mga ninja cops. Kasi po, papasok na po yung bagong administrasyon. Yun po yung sinasabi ni Ma'am Cristina Gonzales na tunay po na nangyayari yan sa underworld. Na kapag ganyan po talaga, napapasok na po yung isang administrasyon na meron po talagang political will na talagang durugin niyang drug syndicates at paglipana po ng droga. Talaga pong yung mga may alaga, yung pong mga tinatawag natin po talaga na talagang yung mga scalawags po talaga, talaga maglilinis po yan. Yun po yung sinasabi. Kaya po yung 2015, bago po pumasok si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte, naglilinis na po yung mga tinatawag nating scalawags. Maraming salamat.
Thank you. So, narinig na natin yun. At least we have two real life incidents na namatayan po yung pamilya. We have nag-testify po sila ito under oath. No? But then, and then narinig natin from nabanggit yung programa ng paghilom. I think that is Father Flaviano Villanueva. Sige, Father, tell us what that is at ang ginagawa nun, and then because of your involvement dyan, ano naman ang iyong mga observations or conclusions? Father, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. There are other witnesses po na kasama ko, and they also have tales to tell. And let me just recognize them. Arlene, Ellie, and Arsenia. Now, let me begin by being asked by an EU ambassador, what does a priest do with the victims? Ang tugon ko po dito, dalawang tanong niya, what does the priest do with the victims? What and how can this madness ever take place? Ang una kong sagot ay, sa SVD, tinuruan kami na hindi lang magbahagi at magpatotoo sa katotohanan. The word became flesh, and we seek the flesh and serve them in the flesh. The second was, I told the ambassador, for you to understand the drug war that took place from 2016 to 2022, you have to go back to Davao. And in that, I have a presentation. If it's ready, I'll briefly run through it as a guide, but not all. And sa Davao, there are testimonies. In my presentation.
Father, keep your presentation within 5 minutes, kaya?
Kaya po.
Kaya. Go ahead.
And in this presentation, let me say that These are from fact statement made in public. Hindi ko po personal to, but these are all made in public. And the second would be facts from my own experience and encounter. Let me begin by what the former president uttered in the second. Next slide, please. Following the death squad would be the statement, they are saying that I'm part of a death squad. True. That is very true. I'm just pointing a point. Followed by, next slide, please. The other slide. If you are doing an illegal activity in my city, if you are a criminal or a part of a syndicate that preys on the innocent people of the city, for as long as I am mayor, you are a legitimate target of assassin. At ito po ay pinatutuhanan ng sa susunod na slide ni Arthur Las Cañas, who said, and I quote, Duterte is the Lord of all drug lords in the southern Philippines. He is the most dangerous person in the southern hemisphere. End of quote. Another person na nagpatutuo po ay walang iba kung hindi si Edgar Matubato. Ang kanya pong winika ay, it was Mayor Duterte himself who recruited us. He was present when we were organized during a meeting at the Old Men Sang Hotel. He called us the Lambada Boys. Our work was to kill and only to kill. At the start of the Lambada Boys, actual killing served as our training to kill people who were defenseless and who were caught unaware. This is the Davao template. And moving forward, and just to sum it from the records made in public, meron po 1,000 hanggang at least 1,000 ang namatay sa 1998 to 2008. Moving forward, what did we discover in the DDS template? Let me provide 4 elements sa nakita ng mga testigo. And these 4 elements in the next slide would present to us, meron nakikitang shabu, 1 hanggang 3 sachet, kapiraso lang, hindi pang mayaman, panggamit at pambenta para maitawid ang pamilya. Hindi ko po sinasang-ayunan ang mga adik sa dahilang 15 taon din ako gumamit. At kaya ko po pinasok ang ganitong pagtatanggol sa mga inakasuhan na adik, naniniwala ako may pag-asa sila. Hindi dapat paslangin o pasabugin ang bungo. Pangalawang bagay na nakikita ay ang revolver. Meron mga patunay na ang revolver ay tampered. Ang revolver ay ginamit na 3 beses sa iba't ibang crime scene. Short of saying, recycled. Ang katawan ni Jonas sa susunod na slide, pangalan niya po, Jesus Jonas. Ito po ay nakita noong October 8, 2016. Ang sabi, as always, palaging sinasabi, ng laban. At kung titignan natin sa pangalawa at susunod na slide pa, nariyan po ang pulis, ngunit kapansin-pansin sa susunod na slide na merong handcuff marks. May handcuff marks at ang kanyang mga daliri ay bali-bali na. Tanong lang simple, paano siya nakabulot at pumutok? Sa unang araw ng pagiging pangulo ng dating presidente, 39 po ang patay. Sa susunod na slide, bukod ito po si Gilbert, masabi ko lang, Parker, tinatay habang nagtatrabaho. Sa first 100 days, in the next slide, we will see that there are at least 3,600 killed as part of the so-called accomplishment. The following slide would give us better numbers or more gruesome numbers. 39 killed on July 1. The number of daily killings average or peaked at 49 on what we have called a one-time big time. 33 was the average number of killed. There were 122 children, sinasabing collateral damage daw. 58 killed in a day and in 3 days. And let me just say, given this carnage and along with death-appalling statements instructing police to kill, this points to one thing. There is a mad killer or killers at the loose. If this is not addressed, then we are doomed.
Father, your 5 minutes are up. Okay,
1 minute.
Can you mind? Yes, 1 minute. Go ahead.
Micah was killed, 3 years old. And ang kalungkot-lungkot na nabanggit ng ating ginagalang na senator, shit happens. Aldrin Pineda, ang tanong niya, bakit ako binaril ni Omar? And in the last 30 seconds, let me present sa 312 na sinabi ni Randy de los Santos, nung lumalago na po ang programa ng 200, naggawa ko ng munting katanungan, ilan ang nagdodroga? Ang sagot nila, 120. Ibig sabihin, merong 80 walang kinalaman sa droga, inosente. Ang sunod kong tanong sa kanila, sino ang nagdodroga nung pinaslang o pinatay sila ng pulis o civilian police? Wala po nagdodroga sa amin, pinatay sila. Ang isa pang magic number, 0. Sa kanilang salaysay, hanggang sa ngayon, paglalaban nila, walang pinaslang. Sino po ang mga principal? Alamin ho natin sa quad hearing. If I may just share.
Is that, Father? What is
These are
that?
the list
Sige,
of
go ahead.
members that we have.
Members ninyo ng programa. Opo. Programa pagligo.
329 names.
Ah.
Pinaslang lahat.
Mhm.
Lahat ay may affidavit.
Mhm.
Lahat ay pwede magpatotoo. Lahat po ay may pamilya na wala ng breadwinner. At ngayon ay nag-iikahos, ngunit lumalaban ang hangad, katarungan sa bansang makadiyos. Hindi dapat palakpakan ang pumapatay. Dapat ito kinakalinga at hinihilong. Maraming po salamat.
Thank you. Father, ganito. Kaya kayo maraming alam sa issue na ito kasi kayo ang nagpapatakbo ng programa, ano name?
Program Paghilom po.
Program Paghilom. At dahil sa ikaw nagpapatakbo niyan, ano yung interaction mo? Doon sa 312 families o sa 200 families?
Both po.
How many families ngayon
We have
ka-interaction mo?
312 families.
312 families yung ka-interaction mo. Kasi
Yes.
namatayan sila lahat. Yun po.
Yes po.
That's why doon nakabase lahat itong sinabi nyo.
And that is in coordination with Randy de los Santos being my field
Kasi-
coordinator.
Kasi si Kian is one of the 312 na nakalista. Sige po. So, definitely organized na yung data ninyo. Tama?
Yes po.
Apo. So, can the committee request for your organized data?
We will, upon checking po with our lawyers, what we could share and what is highly confidential for their safety.
Okay, sa tanong marami na tanong. Ay nano ko lang yung itong nilalagay ko lang sa context yung bakit tinawag natin si Father Flavi as a witness. Kasi although hindi siya namatayan, hindi siya but 312 families ang inaruga ng kanyang organization ng program Paghilom at meron kang personal interaction with them. Okay, sige. And then meron kang sabi mo, Senador, na sabi shit happens. Sino yun? Are you referring to?
Yun po yung nabanggit ni Senator Go nung namatay si Micah.
So, Senator ko?
Sorry,
Senator?
my apologies.
Senator ba to?
Senator Rosa.
Sige, as a matter of right, the Senator is can react if he wants.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you. I just would like to put in context. Paano ko sinabing shit happens? Indeed, I said that. Shit happens. Because sa amin sa police, sa military, during operations, when you don't have complete control of the operational environment, you expect shit happens. Yun nga, nangyari nga. Namatay yung bata, tinamaan yung bata. Talagang, for me, for us, shit happens. Nangyari yun. So what's the fuss? What's the fuss about blaming ourselves for... sinabi ko, talaga nangyari. Hindi perfect yung operation. Hindi mo kontrolado ang environment. May tinamaan na bata. So, anong tawag ko dyan? Perfection happens? There's no perfect operation. Sometimes shit happens. That's what I said. But that does not mean to degrade the soul, the departed soul of that child na namatay. Ang problema lang sa inyo, Father, you are trying to capitalize my words for propaganda purposes. That's very bad, Father. Masama po yan. Huwag niyong gamitin, you do not take the word out of context para i-propagandize yung isang issue. Ako, sinabi ko shit happens because I'm blaming myself as the chief PNP. Nangyari yan nang hindi dapat nangyari. Namatay yung bata, tinamaan. Really, shit happens. Pero, when the media presented it, when the media articulated it in their papers, wow, iba na. Bato is demonyo na. Na yung bata parang masaya pa dahil lang namatay yung bata. Mali po yun, Mr. Chair. So, patanong ko lang si Father, when you said that you used drugs for 15 years, ano po yung drugs na ginamit mo, Father? Shabu po, o bago pa mag-shabu. Pare ka na noon? Siyempre, hindi pa ho. Hindi ka pa pare. So, 15 years. How old ka nag-start gumamit na shabu?
Mr. Chair, simula po ako ng 16.
16. Opo. 16 plus 15, that's 31. Kailan ka naging pare?
2006.
2006. How old were you? 2006.
31 ho.
31. So meaning, nasa loob ka pa ng seminaryo, gumagamit ka na
Meron po
siya.
akong tinatawag na relapse, Mr. Chair.
Relapse. That's good. I congratulate you for reforming your life. And
Salamat
being a
po.
good example. I congratulate you. You're a good example to this community.
Salamat po, Mr. Chair. Pero hindi po ako gumagawa at nagpa-fabricate o pinapalogo. When you said that you do not intend to hurt the feelings of the bereaved, by the word itself, you already did. Salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Well, depende sa inyo yan. That's subjective, Mr. Chair. Kasi sa akin, when I say shit happens, that's for us to blame ourselves. That shit happens. That is not intended for the people, the victim. And which,
Can we contextualize? Aminado naman si Senator Bato. Konektado ito sa 1-year-old na namatay, kaya kayo napasalitang shit happens.
yes,
Can
Mr.
we,
Chair.
old pa? Ilan?
Mr. Chair, 3-year-old
3 years old daw.
na nangangarap din
Okay.
maging police.
Sige, Father, ikaw familiar sa what happened doon sa 3 years old na namatay? Sige nga, so that we will see the...
Sa pagkaalala ko po ay ito po ay isang police operation at ang hinuhuli nila yung anak ay yung tatay at dahil dito ay nadamay ko yung anak, no? Nadamay yung anak at namatay yung anak. I wouldn't want to give any
Saan po yun?
I wouldn't want to give
Okay, place and then date, and then sa incidenting yun, yung 3 years old lang ang namatay.
kasama po yung ama, Mr. Chair.
Kasama ang ama. That is the context, ha? Yan yung context na nangyari ito.
Yes, Mr. Chair, wala naman talagang pulis gusto pumatay ng bata. Kaya nga sabi ko shit happens. Nabati naman yung bata sa crossfire. Kaya nga, nangyari yun. But
Father, sa investigation ninyo, official police operation yon, na-confirm na ninyo sa HQ?
It was po,
Okay, may mga pangalan ng operatives.
I think meron po, Mr. Chair, and ayaw kasi mag-appeal po nung
Paki-organize na lang po yung data kasi isa na yan sa napag-usapan natin ngayon. Eh. We are interested in that police operation na may 3-year-old na namatay. Kasama ng kanya papa, siguro papa.
Yes, papa. Mr. Chair, na-autopsy rin po ni Dr. Raquel Fortun ng bata. So, she can objectively provide the truth in this committee. Salamat.
Mr. Chair, another question. Yung inimbestigahan ninyo, Father, ng mga kaso, marami yun, sinabi mo. And you have evidences. Pero kayo proof na sabi mo nga, pinalian ng kamot. Sabi mo, may mga revolver na paulit-ulit na ginagamit as exhibit. Then, sa haba ng panahon, Father, ilan na pong kaso na file ninyo pertaining to those cases that you have investigated? Ilan na pong kaso na file ninyo?
Can I respond, Mr. Chair?
Respond to the best of your ability.
Okay.
Pero hindi naman, I don't think it's responsibility ninyo to file the cases. Pero
Precisely.
Mr. Chair, but since concerned siya, advokasya niya yan, he should see to it that justice must be served to this victim.
hindi po ba mas responsibility ng pulis yan?
Responsibility nga ng police, Mr. Chair, pero sila nang imbestiga, he's provided. Otherwise, kung hindi siya tumulong para mapile yung kaso na yan, halata na ginagawa niya, puro propaganda. Nagpo-propaganda lang siya. Nagsasabi siya gano'n. Hindi pala siya interested na makuha ang justisya. Hindi niya pinaloob sa pulis kung nakasuhan na itong mga gago na ito. Because for one, I want justice to be served. Lalong-lalo na yung mga inosente na pinatay. Dapat talaga, Father. Baka mas hindi pa ako maging pare kung tutuusin. Kasi gusto ko talaga, if I have the goods, I have the evidence as you showed that a while ago. Balik-balik na, halatang binugbog mo na bago pinatay eh. Di ba? No, you should pinaluan mo sana yun, napay yung kaso. Kung hindi mo pinaluan, well, masasabi ko hanggang propaganda ka lang, Father. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Salamat kayo, Mr. Chair. Brief interjection lang. May expression kanina na what's the fuss? I think dahil lahat tayo, lahat around the table, ayaw nga natin na may nangyayaring ganito na may batang nagko-crossfire. And a good number of us, ayaw din natin ang buong sitwasyon ito na nagkaroon ng EJ case, nagkaroon ng war on drugs. And secondly, Mr. Chair, for the record, ilang beses na rin nagkaroon ng pagdududa sa motibo ni Father Flavi sa pagharap sa ating komite. I think na he doesn't deserve that dahil pinepresyong po ng ating komite na all our resource persons humaharap sa atin in good faith. So kung maaari ko lang i-make of record yan, Mr. Chair, na buong loob akong nananalig sa good faith ni Father Flavi sa pagharap sa atin at pagpresenta ng karanasan at ebidensya na meron ang Project Paghilom. For the record, Mr. Chair.
Father, you don't mind being asked these hard questions naman, di ba?
No,
Sir, okay. Answer to the best of your ability.
salamat po. And Mr. Chair, I would like to acknowledge the intervention of Senator Riza. Hindi po uso at hindi po nasa vocabulary ko ang pag-upload ng katotohanan at propaganda. Ito po ay ginawa ko sapagkat bago pa karoon ng patayan sa daang administrasyon, meron na tayong isang lugar kung saan tinatawag na kalinga, nagpapaligo, nagpapaaral, at meron pa kang only rice ang mga homeless. 2015. But when 2016 started and came in, dahil ang pinatay mostly are breadwinners, I was already thinking in advance na ang mga naiwan na pamilya, kapag hindi natulungan dahil breadwinners ang namatay, they will also end up in the streets. So to address that issue, we created Program Paghilom to help provide the core competence of psycho-spiritual interventions. Yun po ang hugis ng hustisya na nais namin ipaabot. Let us take note that justice has different facades. Isa lang po ang korte, o ultimate ang korte. But being able to rise up in the morning para magtrabaho, ang anak kahit kandila, magsulat at mag-aral mabuti, para sa akin, katarungan na po yun. Ugis po ng katarungan yun. Now, to address the cases, there are cases that are being addressed. There are cases that have fallen into our hands and they are ongoing. I will not outline it here, but submit the records. Second, if there are really cases of danlaban, let me now throw this question. Di ba ho, sa investigasyon, sa crime scene, ang isang pine-preserve po dyan ay yung barel na ginamit. 6,000 po daw ang danlaban. So dapat merong 6,000 barel with corresponding documents. One way to let the public know that the war on drugs was real and true to its word, let us see the 6,000 handguns. That's a question po.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, if I may, I hope the next hearing you can invite the director of forensic service of the PNP para mailatag niya yung whereabouts nito mga lahat ng mga ebidensya na na-recover. And for the record, Mr. Chair, just would like to parating kay Father. I appreciate what you're doing, Father. Thank you for what you're doing. Pasensya ka na kung sinabi ko na kung hindi ka nakapag-file ng kaso, parang you limit yourself to propaganda. But then again, you said na may naka-file kayong kaso. And I encourage you, please, file kayo ng kaso. Kasi kawawa talaga yung namatay. Mag-file kayo ng kaso. I am one with you in seeking for justice to these victims. File kayo ng kaso.
Salamat po at madali po kaso, inahabla na po. Salamat.
Thank you. Thank you, Father.
Mr. Chair.
Before Senator Risa, can we ask Attorney Dulay to sit here with us? He's the Inspector General of the ES, para just in case. Yes, go ahead.
Salamat kayo, Mr. Chair. One follow-up question kay Father Flavi. Father, dun sa pagkamatay ni Mika at yung ama niya, kinonfirm ba ni Dr. Fortun na talagang nagkaroon ng shootout dun sa pagkamatay ng dalawang, yung mag-ama?
Mr. Chair, Senator Risa, referring to itong dalawa po, I think na-confirm niya po. I hope I'm right, but please don't quote me. Pero alam ko po na autopsy po ni Dr. Raquel.
Salamat, Father. So, Mr. Chair, kung maaaring maimbita din po sa susunod na hearing si Dr. Fortun. Salamat.
Nakaplano na po yan. Pero doon po kay yung bata na sinabi ko, yung bata na sabi ko na discover ni Dr. Fortun na may gunshot wound. Yes, hindi na yata disputed yun. Ang cause of death ng bata was a gunshot wound. Tama? Yes. Okay, so that is claro. Senator Tolentino, I think wants to ask
Father, magandang tanghali po, Mayang Udto. Pinanggit mo kanina na marami kang senior na mga pangalan, although malayo dito, hindi naman namin mabasa. But you mentioned the words highly confidential. Parang hindi ba lumalabas na yung pag-share mo ng information would be selective, subjective. Paano po ito? Saan ang hangganan na ito? Kung ano lang yung gusto nyong ibigay o kasi ang gustong patunguhan ng meeting ito, ng hearing, malaman nga kung ano yan. Pero kung magbibigay kayo ng konti, withhold kayo, paano po yan?
Salamat po, Mr. Chair. Nung sinabi kong highly confidential, unang-una po ay meron po sila kanya-kanyang mga abogado. And I believe that there is also a proper forum kung saan ito po ay lilitisin bukod po dito sa ating meeting na house. So yun po yung context ng highly confidential. If we could, and only we could, give it all, we would upon their approval po, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Salamat, Majority Leader. Salamat. Please stay on in the hearing, Father, kasi kami mga dagdag na tanong pa sa inyo in the course of the other testimonies. At this point, the chair would like to call on Attorney Ian Chell Jokno to make the presentation in his capacity as the chair of the Free Legal Assistance Group, or FLAG. And the committee understands, Dean Chell, that you have with you a survivor of an attempted extrajudicial killing. So kung maaari pong isama niyo rin po yung kwento niya sa inyong presentation. So, Attorney Chell, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Your Honors. May I request that the slides be put on the screen? Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Ang kampanyang kontra illegal na droga ng Administrasyong Duterte ay hindi lang basta-basta nagsimula sa kalsada at barangay. Ang pinagmula ng war on drugs sa isang utos o command na galing mismo sa pinakamataas na opisyal ng Philippine National Police. At yun po ay nakikita ninyo sa right side ng screen. Next slide, please. Ang una po niyang reference sa kanyang command circular ay ang pronouncement ni President Rodrigo R. Duterte to get rid of illegal drugs during the first 6 months of his term. Next slide, please. Sa PNP CMC 16-26 nanggaling sa Project Double Barrel. Ay unang-una ito ay ilulus sa Project Double Barrel. Ay unang-una ito ay ilulunsad sa unang araw ng Chief PNP. At pangalawa, ito ay may dalawang sangay. Kaya Double Barrel po ang tawag. Project Tokhang and Project HPT. Next slide, please. Ayan po ang diagram ng Double Barrel. Project HPT ay high value target at Project Tokhang ang lower barrel. Ano ngayon ang ibig sabihin po? Next slide. Ng Project Tokhang. Yan yung alam natin ng mga house-to-house visit ng pulis sa mga pinag-iinalaang sangkot sa illegal na droga. Next slide. Ano naman ang Project HPT? Ayan po yung tawag na high-value targets, yung mga involved na drug personalities sa international at domestic drug trafficking. Next slide, please. Kaya ang tanong po ay, ano ang pinagkaiba ng Project Double Barrel sa mga dating anti-illegal drugs campaign ng pamahalaan? Dalawa po ang pinagkaiba. Next slide. Unang-una, may utos sa loob ng command circular na yan na mag-neutralize at mag-negate ng mga suspected illegal drug personalities. Pangalawa, ang utos ay gumamit ng drug list para tugisin ang mga sangkot umano sa illegal na droga. Next slide, please. Siyempre po, alam naman natin lahat, ang trabaho ng pulis ay mag-imbestiga, magkalap ng ebidensya at magsampa ng kaso laban sa mga salarin. Kaya ang tanong ay, bakit nag-iba ang utos sa Project Double Barrel? Imbis namang aresto at magsampa ng kaso, bakit neutralize at negate ang iniutos ng CMC 16-2016? Imbis na magkalap ng ebidensya para sa korte, bakit drug list ang iniutos nitong command circular? Next slide. Paulit-ulit po ang utos ng command circular na ito na mag-neutralize. Mismo sa purpose ng circular nakalagay na dapat i-neutralize ang mga illegal drug personalities sa buong Pilipinas. Next slide, please. At sa loob ng circular, nandiyan po naka-highlight sa dilaw, yan yung mga paulit-ulit na command to neutralize and to negate. Next slide. Wala naman po sa batas ang salitang negate at neutralize. Kaya libre ang pulis na unawahan ito base lamang sa kanilang sariling interpretasyon. Kumbaga, Your Honors, ay bahala na sila magpasya kung ano ang ibig sabihin nito. Ang tanong po ngayon, siyempre, ano ang pagkaintindi o pag-unawa ng pulis sa utos na mag-neutralize at mag-negate? Next slide. Ang mga susunod po na salitang paggamit ng neutralize at negate ay galing mismo sa mga opisyal ng PNP. Next slide, please. si PNP spokesperson Senior Superintendent Carlos noong 2016 mismo ang nag-announce noon na ang ibig sabihin ng neutralize ay pinatay o killed. At mismo siya nag-announce na papalitan na nila sa mga report ng double barrel, imbis na killed, ang ilalagay nila ay neutralized. Next slide. Ang mga susunod naman ng mga police reports ay sinulat at nanggaling mismo sa mga units ng PNP sa Santa Ana, Manila. Makikita dito, paulit-ulit din nilang ginagamit ang neutralized kaugnay na Project Double Barrel at ang pagpatay sa suspect dahil umano siya ay naglaban. Ito po yung isa. Next slide, please. Ito ay isang information report galing sa PNP Santa Ana. Elements of Santa Ana Police Station will step up for the suspect's immediate apprehension and neutralization. Kung ang ibig lang sabihin ay hulihin yung suspect, bakit pa dinagdag ang salitang neutralization? Next slide, please. Yung suspect po dito ay nailagay sa isang drug watch list at medyo maliit lang pero may makikita kayong handwritten notation sa tabi ng pangalan niya, killed, at yung petsa kung kailan siya pinatay. Next slide, please. And one more. Next slide, please. As predicted in the PNP information report, ang tatlong suspect, Mr. Manawis at dalawang punuan, ay na-neutralize o napatay sa isang bypass operation dahil sila raw ay naglaban. Next slide, please. May hawak po ang flag ng mga 20 sets pa ng mga police reports galing din sa Police Santa Ana na ganun din, halos eksakto word for word ang paggamit nila ng salitang neutralize. Ang nakita po namin pattern, una, bago magsagawa ng police operation, na-identify na yung suspect bilang target for immediate apprehension and neutralization. Pangalawa, halos lahat sila ay nasa drug watch list. Pangatlo, nung nagkaroon daw ng bypass operation, lahat sila ay nanlaban at pinatay. Next slide, please. Pero hindi lang po sa ang Santa Ana Police ang gumagamit ng neutralize, pati sa Tondo, meron din po. Next slide, please. Ito ay sa isang operation tungkol sa pagkapatay kay Rex Apari. Died during police operation. The operation resulted in the neutralization of the suspect. At hindi lang po yon. Next slide, please. Si Colonel Espinido na nandito po ngayon ay nung tumestigo sa Quadco, may umamin ng ibig sabihin na neutralize ay kill. Next slide, please. Tinanong po siya ni Congressman Owaminal, does that include referring to neutralization? Colonel, na ang pagpatay sa target, ang sagot po, kasali na, Your Honors. At hindi lang po siya, next slide please, pati ang PDEA Chief, si Director General Lasso, ay inamin din ng ibig sabihin ng negate at neutralize ay kill. Next slide please. Tinanong po siya ni Congresswoman Luistro, can you please enlighten us ano pong ibig sabihin ng negated? Answer the General Lasso, it is neutralized, Your Honor. I mean, he was killed already. Negated for the case of Mayor Halili would then mean that he is dead already. Yes, Your Honor. That is why it was neutralized already. Sagot, yes, Your Honor. Next slide, please. Ibinulgar din ni Colonel Royina Garma sa Quadcom ang reward system na itinupad sa Duterte drug war. Hindi ko na po babasahin ng lahat ng nasa sinagot niya, pero ang sabi lang niya, may reward po yan, ang Davao model ang kanilang sinunod. First is the reward if suspect is killed. Second is the funding of planned operations. And third is the refund of operational expenses. At gusto ko lang pong i-emphasize, ang sabi niya, rewards were only given for killings. For arrests, only reimbursement of expenses. Next slide, please. Iba-iba din po ang halaga ng reward, depende kung small time o big time. Ang mga small time daw, around 20,000. Ang big time, umaabot ng 500,000 hanggang 1 million piso. Next slide, please. Kaya ang naging resulta po, killing frenzy sa kapulisan. Kaya sa tingin ko, umabot sa 20,322 ang napatay nung una pa lang 17 buwan ng drug war. Ang numero pong 20,322 ay galing mismo sa Korte Suprema, isang extended resolution at sinasite nila ang 2017 Year-End Accomplishment Report na galing sa Office of the President. Next slide, please. Marami pong mga kamag-anak ang lumapit sa amin sa flag, kamag-anak ng mga EJK victims. Pero marami din sa kanila ay natatakot magsampa ng kaso dahil malamang baka balikan sila o yung mga kamag-anak nila. At kahit ngayon, marami pa rin pong takot dahil many of those involved or responsible ay naka-uniforme pa. Next slide, please. Pero meron po kaming isang testigo na kasama po ngayon, isang survivor ng EJK, si Roger Herrero, na nung siya ay binaril, akala ng pulis siya ay patay na, nakahanap siya ng tulong, nadala siya sa ospital, nung nalaman ng pulis na buhay pa siya, kinasuhan siya ng robbery, nakakuha siya ng acquittal, dinismiss ang kasong robbery laban sa kanya, at siya naman ang nagsampa ng frustrated murder laban sa mga pulis. Na-convict po ang 4 na pulis of attempted murder. Ito po ang picture ni Roger Herrero at nandito po siya sa loob ng ating session hall. Roger, kung pangalan po ay kayo tumayo. Si Roger Herrero po. Next slide, please. Maraming salamat, Roger. Maaari pong may magtatanong, robbery naman ang charge. Paano siya naging biktima ng drug war? Next slide, please. Pero mismo ang taga-NBI ang nagsabi po sa amin sa flag na ito ay ginawa ng pulis, kasama ito sa drug war dahil ang reward ang end goal ng mga pulis. At sabi pa niya, the PNP changed their narrative into simple crime operation when the incident reached the NBI because suddenly a charge of robbery was filed. Para din ito yung kaso ni Carl Arnaiz. Kung maalala po ninyo, after Kian de los Santos, ang sumunod na pinatay ay si Carl Arnaiz. Ang sabi naman ng pulis nung lumabas yung balita na napatay nga siya, ay nang hold up daw siya. Pero actually, na-convict yung mga pulis din sa kaso ni Carl Arnaiz, hindi lang ng pagkapatay, kundi pati planting of evidence. Kaya po kami nababahala sa mga nangyayari mga kaso ng panahon na war. Ready po anytime mag-testify si Roger Herrero. Nasa committee po. Thank you.
Roger Herrero.
Yes.
Sige, are you done?
Yes,
Thank you. And then ikaw, Attorney Jokno, marami kang kliyente na victim families ng EJK, kaya familiar ka sa issue na yun po ba yun?
Meron po at meron kami inihain na kaso sa Korte Suprema sa ngalan ng 3 kliyente namin na nandun pa rin at nakapending sa Supreme Court.
Kliyente, meaning to say, namatayan ng mga pamilya?
At 3 po sila. Yung isa, si Jefferson Soriano, ay survivor din ng EJK. Yung isa, si Rowena Apari, ay nanay ng napatay na nanlaban daw. At yung pangatlo ay relative ko rin ng isang EJK victim.
Okay. Pero EJK po ito, since familiar ka naman sa background facts, yung mga attempted EJK or victim ng EJK, sa ngalan ng war on drugs ang operation ng police?
Yes.
Siguro kaya nyo naman siguro i-organize mo yung data. Bigyan nyo po kami ng information.
Sure.
And dahil dyan sa pag-aaral mo sa issue na ito ay na-encounter mo ngayon yung Memorandum Circular 16-2016.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sino po nag-issue nun?
Si Chief PNP noong panahon na yun, si ngayon Senator Ronaldo Bato.
Anong date yun?
Ronald lang.
Sorry ba?
Anong date yung MC?
July 1, 2016. First day po niya sa
July 1,
pagpupila ng Chief PNP.
And as an experienced lawyer, napansin mo doon ang pag-insert ng anong mga salita? Na alanganing salita?
Neutralize po at negate.
Negation ata nang nandun, ano?
Yes.
Anong mas madalas gamitin doon? Neutralization?
Neutralization.
Yung negation, ilang times na bang?
5 beses po nabanggit yung neutralize at 2 beses nabanggit ang negate.
So, sa pag-aaral mo, just in case you know, sa mga police material, is this the first time na ginamit ang neutralization, neutralize, negation, negate?
May mga one or two na mga police documents na nakita ko po yan. Pero wala akong alam na may ganyan sa mga utos sa drugs, lalong-lalo na sa war on drugs. Kundi ito lang CMC 16-26.
Pero yung mga naalala mo na-encounter mo yung terms, in what context mo naman sila na-encounter? In police documents?
I think it was pointed out by then Justice Carpio in one of the hearings, the oral argument during the Almora case, the war on drugs case. Siya po ang nagbanggit po sa amin nung kami na nakaharap sa Supreme Court.
Alam mo, diniscuss ko na rin sa staff ko yan eh. What would be a better word to replace neutralization or negation if you do not have killing as included in the meaning of the word? So, yeah, can I benefit from your presence, Atty. Joe?
Kaya nga po ako nagtaka dahil alam naman natin na ang tungkulin ng pulis ay manghuli, magkalap ng ebidensya at magsampa ng kaso. Yun yung hinahanap namin sa command circular. Mag-aresto kayo, kumuha kayo ng ebidensya, mag-file kayo ng case. Nung nakita namin paulit-ulit yung negate at neutralize, sabi po namin, bakit nito ay nailagay doon? Kung ang purpose ay mag-aresto, bakit hindi na lang ginamit yung salitang aresto?
Mr. Chair?
Okay, at Senator Bato.
Yeah, Mr. Chair. I just would like to react. Yung insistence ni Atty. Jokto about using the word neutralize na puro ling lang ang gusto niya palapasin. If you can remember, Atty. Jokto, during our senatorial debate doon sa UST, almost 6 years ago, sinagot na kita tungkol dyan kasi insisting ka na pag-neutralize, patay agad. Sinagot na kita extensively doon sa debate na yun. Kaya nga siguro ako nanalo. Ginawa ako senador ng taong bayan. Kaya nasagot ko yung tanong mo na yun. If I will give you the Google meaning of neutralize. Ito pong nakasabi. It is a verb. Render something ineffective or harmless by applying an opposite force or effect. Ano ibig sabihin yan? Render something ineffective or harmless by applying an opposite force or effect. Ano yung opposite force or effect na sinasabi? Yan ang sinasabi mong negation. Negation operation. Ano gagawin yan? Kasi sabi mo, gusto mo magpulis-pulisan eh. Gusto mo yung term ng pulis, talagang i-insist yung gusto mong meaning eh. Yung negation operations ay pagkakanda ng operations against the suspect. Pag magkanda ka ng operations, chances are na pwede mo siyang maaresto, kailan mo ng kaso, para makulong at hindi na siya makapag-commit pa ng further crimes. Ineffective na siya sa kanyang mga criminal activities. Ngayon, sabi mo patay. Yes, pwede mayroong mamatay dyan sa neutralization kapag ang suspect ay lumaban sa operation because by all means, ang police has to defend themselves. Self-defense. Ewan ko. Tanungin natin itong mga former chief PNP kung ano ba talaga ang meaning ng neutralization. Dahil alam ko, police, military, at maraming organization gumagamit ng term ng neutralize. Binibigyan lang kasi ng masamang meaning nitong mga anti-Duterte na people. Ngayon, kinukot mo pa yung PDEA director na yes, he's free to make his own meaning, his own definition of the term. Ito ngayon, tatlong former chief PNP, Mr. Chair, can I ask General Gamboa, when I say neutralize, anong ibig sabihin niya? You have the floor.
These three former PNP chiefs came after the PNP chief ago. So, tama.
Correct.
Yes.
And if indeed that memorandum that I signed, cited by Attorney Jokno, was true, then they can they were covered by that memorandum. And I would like to seek their opinion as to the intent of that memorandum. Is it really killing? Otherwise, kung gusto kong patayin yung mga suspect na yan, bakit pa ako gagamit ng neutralized term? Gagamitin ko ang to kill. Bakit ko pa gagamitin yung term ng neutralized, Mr. Chair? Can I hear from General Gamboa, Mr. Chair?
So, in order tayo, in order sa kanila, sige, who came, sige, ganito sa records ko, no, after, naging chief Albayal, after Bato de la Rosa, Albayalde, Gamboa, Cascolan, Sinas, Eleazar, Carlos, Danao. Yun na nangyari, sige. Okay, the question of Senator Bato, he wants to direct it first to lawyer, lawyer, former police chief, Attorney Archie Gamboa. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. First, I'd like to put everything in the proper context, because if you only deal with how Attorney Jokno has interpreted the Command Memorandum Circular, you will have really that kind of bias. Now, as an opinion, there are at least 3 laws that prohibits disclosure of classified documents. There's NAPOLCOM Circular 2016-002. There's Republic Act 3019, Section 3. And there's Republic Act 6713, Section 7. All of this prohibits on the part of the government employee to divulge plans like this. For your information, that plan that was presented is classified as confidential. There are limits to the access of that. Why? Because while it may not endanger national security, peace and order, and public safety, it might be prejudicial to the interest, prestige of national government activities. It may cause administrative embarrassment. It may cause unwarranted injury, and it may be advantageous to other nations. I am telling this because first and foremost, those documents are not supposed to be accessed by the public. But this responsibility lies on the government employee themselves. Pero ito, wala na tayong magawa, Mr. Chair, dahil lumabas na dyan. Now let's go back to how policemen would interpret this. Before we became members of the Philippine National Police, we were members of the Philippine Constabulary. And the word neutralization can often be found in operational plans of the military. It's always there. So probably, as we transition to the now Philippine National Police, we carry the same interpretation. Now, if you look at the entire CMC, the Command Memorandum Circular, in the coordinative portion, it emphasizes respect for human rights as embodied in the 1987 Constitution, respect for police operational protocols. It's all there. So if you take it in its entire context, you don't necessarily mean neutralization as giving. Because it may cause, no, there's a question of bakit nag-iba ang shift ng strategy ng PNP to double barrel? Bakit merong tukhang, merong HBT na sinasabing nagde-determine ng drug list? When you are a member of the military, even in our campaign against the insurgents, we always start with the order of battle. The order of battle is the list of suspected communists, be it armed guerrilla or even legal fronts. Because this is where you start your work. Because if you start from nowhere, where are you going to go? That's why in our campaign against illegal drugs, we start with the drug list, those that are listed. And then from there, we develop strategies first to look at them. Maybe if we can find the appropriate cases or conduct probably bypass operations. Ang mahirap kasi if you take this into just one context and one page, actually I have listed that during the CNC 2016, there was a mention 4 times, page 3, page 12, page 15, and page 16, and negation in page 5. But if an ordinary policeman will interpret this, it means it will still be based on how the law operates. As a chief PNP and as a lawyer, I would not allow that it will go out of the bounds of the law. Mahirap kasi pag kunin mo yung context na isang page lang, o dito ka lang sa neutralization, why don't you go through the different pages? This is a memorandum circular covered by almost 18 pages. And take the interpretation in its entirety. Hindi lang doon sa neutralization. I don't know what could be the reason, but that's how the former chief PNP and a lawyer says it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Fellow, but is the word neutralization commonly used in police? Sige, Chief.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Even in the military sense,
In the police, kaya kung kinocontextualize kung tayo, kinocontextualize ko, kayo ba police? You consider yourself military?
no, sir.
Police. So, in the police context, common ang word na neutralization.
Yes, sir. Even if you can see on the different 6 memorandum circular, you see it's
Kaya nga, that's one document. And then, I'm now asking you, before ka naging chief, siyempre, lawak na experience mo. Madalas mo na-encounter sa police career mo ang word na neutralization.
Yes, sir.
So just as you made the study ko ilang beses ginamit siya dito sa
Yes, sir.
document, can you give us a study kung ano yung mga police documents na na-encounter mo ang neutralization
No.
at saka negation?
I am just saying, sir, that the 6 memorandum circular issued during the 2016 to 2022, the neutralization and the negation has always been used in the different circulars. And this has passed through at least 3 chief PNP signing the circular.
And did it all start with this particular memorandum circular, the number 16-26?
Yes, sir.
Dito ba na?
Yes, sir.
Kaya nga, so after this, madalas nang gamitin si
Yes, sir.
neutralization.
Yes, sir.
Yun ang point.
Even on the memorandum circular signed by Chief PNP Albayalde, maybe because of the misinterpretation, the neutralization has already been defined in the definition of terms.
Unveil the time na. Sige po. Chief, itong aking records dito, ano ka, you were chief of October 14, 2019. Kino-consider ka na ba chief nun? Up to...
Yes, sir, as officer in charge, but limited on the...
Up to September 2, 2020.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Alam mo ilan ang casualty sa sa term mo?
I think 662, sir.
662.
Yes, sir. We have already list on the different died in police operations on the different terms of the GPN.
Yes. Basta your particular term 662.
Yes.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Teresa.
salamat kayo, Mr. Chair. I'll be asking follow-up questions after all the former chiefs PNP have spoken. Pero I think may binanggit po si former Chief PNP Archie Cambo at least tatlong importanteng punto. Una, talagang magkakaiba yung sa militar or even the PC before bilang military organizations na gumagamit ng yung list of targets at saka yung use ng word na neutralization. Iba talaga sa context ng kanilang dating counterinsurgency operations ng PC at ng AFP until recently na pumipili sa external defense. Ibang-iba supposedly ang PNP. That's why nagpasa ang Kongreso noon ng PNP Reform and Modernization Act to create the new PNP. So ibang-iba po yung paggamit ng neutralization or negation sa PC noon at sa AFP, maaring hanggang ngayon, kesa sa PNP. Pangalawang importanteng binanggit ni former Chief PNP Archie, sinabi nga nila na why would they want to arrest rather than have those effect of killing? Kasi po, yung isa pang pag-uusapan natin in this hearing or perhaps the next hearings, Mr. Chair, merong tinawag na nangyaring perverse incentive. Lumabas na po sa isang resource person. Pag aresto, walang reward, walang incentive. Pero pag napatay, may incentive. At may gradations pa ng magkano yon, depende kung low level or high value yung napatay or pinatay. And pangatlo po, I just would like to return dun sa piniresent so far ni na Attorney Jokno, Attorney Chal, na pati doon sa mga nakuha nilang after reports ng PNP sa mga napatay, yung mga nakalista earlier for neutralization or negation, nakalagay po killed. So, in the course of the years of the drug war, in the course of the years of the EJKs, talagang napagpalit-palit na yung neutralization, negation, at yung pagpatay as a description and siguro in the nature ng mga human organizations sa pagkaintindi even during the operation. So just for the record, Mr. Chair, bago yung ating iba pang former chiefs PNP.
Mr. Chair, thank you. Mr. Chair, I have given this body the Google meaning of the word neutralization. This time, I would like to share with you the police meaning of neutralization as defined in page 188 of the Police Operational Procedure Manual. And it says, neutralization, a police intervention in strict accord with the use of force continuum and or principle of proportionality on the use of force purposely to contain or stop the unlawful aggression of the offender. This may include an arrest, capture, surrender, or other acts to subdue the suspect. Wala mo nakalagay dito na kill. Sa definition ng PNP Operational Manual, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mahirap kong magbigay ng meaning, somebody from outside the PNP ang mag-interpret sa isang police term. It should be people from within the organization be given the chance to interpret this term accordingly, Mr. Chair.
May we know when the PNP officially and formally defined the word neutralization? Because sa notes ko, mayroong -21, so it gives me the idea it's 2021.
Regardless, Mr. Chair.
Am I correct or not?
Yeah, this is 2021. Dahil nga sa palaging minimisinterpret ng publiko yung term na neutralization, the PNP come up with the correct meaning.
Is it a fact that in the command memorandum circular number 16-2016, where the word neutralization appears, wala pa siyang definition ng time na yun?
Wala pa, Mr. Chair. But it doesn't mean kung walang nakasulat na definition, isama mo na puro patay-patay na lang.
Correct.
Gusto mo sa neutralization.
Correct.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Do you want to continue with the ex-chief? Senator Bato, you want to continue?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Same question, kung natatandaan niyo pa, sir. Same question ni Senator Bato. So, the bold sinas. Yes, sir. Jonathan, retired.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. First, I'd like to thank the committee for inviting me. Nagbigay na po ni Senator Bato at saka ni Sir Archie po ang definition. Yun po talagang inadapt namin, Your Honor. Hindi po kagad patay. Because the context talaga, kasi kaya yung operation procedures, kasama po yun sa tinuturo at saka nasa mga training at saka mga discussion. Hindi po kagad patay. Dapat we do the, after mag-case build up, the arrest, capture, kung mag-surrender, is-surrender. Tapos kung mayroong imminent threat na talagang lumaban, doon po talaga nag-engage ang police po. Kaya nga pinakita rin po kanina na may mga instances din na pag hindi ready ang police, kami po ang mapapatayan. It does not mean na pag sinabing neutralize, ang sinasabi namin sa mga tao namin sa baba during our conferences, our coordinating conference and meeting, ay patay. Hindi po yun, sir. Ang una talaga is to neutralize, to stop their operation, to stop their aggressions on equal force, just enough to neutralize them. Yun po, sir, ang pa namin.
Yun po ang ginagamit na term na pinasa na po namin sa FAP. It's not immediate killing, sir, ang FAP po namin. So we have the same stand po, sir, with Senator Bato and Sir Archie, sir. Thank you po.
If I may, just very quick intervention, Mr. Chairman, because I was listening attentively, whether as to when the word neutralization came into the picture and the definition came in later, as you mentioned, 2021. So my next question, or probably a practical question, would be, how do you come up with a list of persons that you need to neutralize if you don't have the definition of neutralization? I think it's a practical question, Your Honor.
Take that up sa
Yeah. I just wanted to put that on
tuloy lang natin
yeah.
si ano. Pero hindi, may nasabi kasi si General Sinas na yun ang sabi mo, yung interpretation na yun ang pinaabot mo sa baba. So ibig sabihin, nag-issue ka ba ng mga circulars when you were Chief PNP na you interpreted neutralization?
No po, sir.
How did you do
We
it?
do with our conferences, with our...
Verbal.
Yes, sir, verbal po, sir.
Again, General Danao, please, same question daw ni Senator Bato.
Yes, sir. Honorable Chairman and other members of the Senate. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Sir, I was assigned as the officer in charge of Philippine National Police from May 2022 up to August. So it's only 3 months, and that was the time of election. And from 2016 to 2018, I was just a mere directorate or staff of the directorates of intelligence and the CIDG. But as far as the neutralization word is concerned, as being discussed before during the height of the drug war, for me, sir, I would take it as the neutralization is a form of police operation. First, sir, is the voluntary surrender of the suspects of illegal drugs. That is one. And it could also be through the legal arrest of the suspects through bypass operation, through conduct of search warrants, and the other forms. It could also be through checkpoints. Kasi minsan, sir, may mga checkpoints dyan na makikita in possession, sir, illegal drugs ng mga suspects. And it could also be, the word neutralization could also be the meaning, the killing of the suspect. So yun, sir. So pero yung sinasabi siya na interpretation, how we conduct operations sa mga sir. So sasabihin na killing, parang medyo wala naman pong gano'n. But it is only how to the people on the ground on how they interpret it.
Thank you. Okay, ganito.
Mr. Chair.
Sige, just if possible, briefly lang, Attorney. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Unang-una po, I think the comments that were made missed the point entirely. Kasi ang tanong talaga dito ay, bakit pa nilagay yon sa isang command circular? At may point out ko rin po, naalala ko rin na Senator De La Rosa na mismo kayo po noong 2016 ay
Talk to me.
ginamit niyo din po ang
Talk to me,
neutralize.
Attorney.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. But may I point out that Senator De La Rosa in 2016 also used the term neutralize to refer to a bounty being raised to have him killed by supposed generals who were allied with the drug or those people involved in drugs.
What's your source?
This is
Para
from
ma-check din namin.
Amico Legazpi, GMA News, published September 28, 2016, dito po sa GMA News Online.
No, Mr. Chair, siguro mamaya kung ma-share sa atin yan para makareact ako properly.
Please share with Senator Bato.
Wala akong context.
Tinanong para yung staff ma-check agad ng staff.
Just a few more points, if I may, Mr. Chair. General Gamboa mentioned the use of the order of battle, pero matagal na po yung naban. Bawal na po gumamit ng order of battle sa ilalim ng Anti-Torture Act. So kung sabi sabi niya ay yun ang ginagamit nila sa counterinsurgency, yun din ang basis nila sa drug list, eh wala na po yun eh. Pinagbabawal na po yun na matagal na ng ating batas. And finally, the point that confidential daw yung circular na ito at dapat daw hindi kami nakakuha ng kopya. Kami mismo ay nag-request sa PNP para sa kaso sa Supreme Court at binigyan po kami ng certified true copy na sinubmit po namin sa Supreme Court. Yun na po yun.
Senator Risa.
Salamat kayo, Mr. Chair. A follow-up question, Attorney Jokno. Attorney Chair, apart from semantics, may basis po ba sa karanasan na yung naging interpretasyon ng iba sa neutralize o negate ay pumatay?
Ayun nga po, yun na ipakita ko mga slides kanina na mismong galing sa Pulis Santa Ana, Pulis Tondo, mismo kay Colonel Joby Espenido, sa PIDEA Chief. Lahat po sila ginagamit nila yung salitang neutralize. Ang ibig sabihin ay kasama na doon yung pagpapatay.
Salamat.
Mag-ready ka muna, Colonel Espinido, tatanungin kita. Pero ito lang, para lang just educate this representation or the Committee General Gamboa. General Gamboa, bakit mo nasabi in the first place na top secret or secret ito na mag-circulate itong command memorandum circular? Bakit? Why?
Sir, Mr. Chair, as I have said, the sanction goes to the government employee, not to the recipient.
No, but why? Bakit limited circulation ito? It was really designed for limited circulation.
No, sir. Meaning to say, the circulation is controlled. There are different classifications of the documents in the police. Like there's secret, there's top secret.
Anong marka nito? There's no marking.
It's supposed to be confidential, sir. It's supposed to be a cover page. And down below should be stated confidential. But probably because the PNP already officially released it, that's why they removed it.
But there's something wrong kung may separate page andun ang confidential and yet sa document itself walang tatak na confidential. So, if ever nakikinig ang PNP sa atin, if that is what you want to happen, tatakan nyo ng confidential yung dokumento mismo, wala na rito eh. There's no more trace that is confidential. Anyway, okay na po yun. Just for my information. Colonel, ikaw ito sasabihin ko nga sa kanila. Hindi ka naging PNP chief, pero talagang sa ground ka. You conduct police operations, etc. And I think you have an admission under oath that you interpreted the word neutralization as not naman siguro meaning to kill, but as including the possibility of killing. Sige, just explain to us ano yung ibig niyo sabihin.
Good afternoon po, Mr. Chair, sa lahat. Good afternoon. Sa akin naman, as an operatives, matagal sa non-commissioned officer, sa amin, Your Honor, ang pag-intindi, pag may neutralization, may report pagkatapos ng trabaho, status. So, neutralized, then the remarks is nahuli or patay. Not totally sa interpretation namin na nakalagay dyan neutralization, patayin. Magtrabaho lang to stop anything as long as illegal. So sa remarks, so nakalagay na doon ang specification. Nahuli, nandoon, pinayag sa court ang complaint at saka namatay, Your Honor. Kami ang mag-implemento kasi sila yung mga officer harap ko ngayon. Sila ang taga-gawa ng circular. Pero the truth is, ako number one ang nag-implement. Paano i-implement ang neutralization? Hindi nakapokus sa neutralization, kundi nakapokus kung sino ang target na illegal na hulihin ba or mamatay kasi yun na may firefighting nga ang nangyari. But not totally na nakalagay sa isip namin as non-commissioned officer na nasa field, nasa crowd na yung patayin kasi neutralization, Your Honor. Kasi kami ang magharap sa korte kung sakali sundin. Maski hindi nyo naman, patayin lang kasi neutralization, no. Kaya sinabi ko sa Quadcom Committee, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, na pwede. Sa lahat pwede. Possibility as long as real trabaho, kung ano talaga yon ang harapin mo, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Sige. Senator Bato, will clarify the situation.
Meron ko sinabi, Colonel Spino, na pwede. Pwede. Ano mo yung ibig mo sabihin doon sa pwede? Pwedeng mamatay?
Lahat may possibility Mr. Chair, Your Honor, kasi sa situation na nandyan, ang daming experience ko for my 28 years.
Yeah, pwede mamatay kung ano,
Kung lumaban,
yun.
example,
Laruin mo. Laruin mo kasi you are living space of doubt eh. Na pwede pala, pwede.
pwede sa lahat.
Pwede
Kung,
kung
kung lumaban na.
lumaban.
Yun ang
Yun
sinabi
pa
ko.
pala eh. Sige, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Colonel, ganito. Kunyari, hindi neutralization yung word na ginamit. Ginamit, arrest. O ano. Pag lumaban,
Ganun pa rin.
hindi nga.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, Senator Risa.
Salamat kay Mr. Chair. Related dun sa isang puntong binanggit ni Police Lieutenant Colonel Espinido, balik lang kay Attorney Doc, no? May pattern naman po bang nakita yung flag related sa mga kaso di umano ng nanlaban? I mean, kapani-paniwala ba na lahat self-defense on the part of the law enforcer yung pagpatay sa mga ito na sinabi nanlaban?
Dalawa po yung nakita namin. Unang-una, sa Santa Ana Police Reports na naibigay sa amin, meron silang tinatawag sa PNP na information report. Ito yung report na doon nila nilalagay yung mga information about the suspect galing sa mga informant nila. At this is used pre-operation. Sa mga information reports na nakita namin, nandun na yung salitang immediate apprehension and neutralization of that particular suspect. Second, yung pangalan nila ay sa maraming kaso ay nasa listahan din ng drug watch list for that particular area. And then later on, pagka nag-operate na ang police doon, meron silang report na naglaban kaya napatay. Nung curious kami po noon, kinompare namin pati yung language, yung mismong wording ng iba't ibang mga police report tungkol sa nanlaban. At yung isang very striking sa amin ay halos identical yung ginamit na salita. Kumbaga parang cut and paste yung mga ginamit na salita. I can provide the committee with copies of these police reports.
Please do, Attorney Doc.
Yes,
Salamat kayo.
Your Honor.
Kung pwede, more than just providing us with a copy, Attorney Joe, parang, di ba parang memorandum of position paper na inorganize mo na yung observations mo.
Yes, of course.
Para you direct our attention to what you have noticed.
Yes.
Ito, Colonel Espinido.
Mr. Chair, just to respond to the pattern of Senator Gonzalez.
Sige, Father, go.
Once again, going back to our documents, listening to the narratives of the families, wala po. From the 312 that we have, no one fought back. Politiko po, wala po ng laban sa kanila. Salamat po.
Salamat, Father Flavi.
Yes, go
Mr.
ahead.
Chair, if I may, habang on deck si Father Flavi, and mamaya itatanong ko rin kay Attorney Chel. Father, tama po ba na sedition cases were filed against you? Kasi kaunay ko ito ng banta na hinaharap, hindi lang ng people on the ground, pero yung mga gusto magdepensa sa mga EJK families.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Salamat, Father. For the record, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, if I may ask a similar question kay Attorney Doc, no? Kay Attorney Chel. Salamat kayo, Mr. Chair. Attorney Chel, could you describe briefly how was it to be an opponent of the war on drugs during its peak? Anong klaseng mga hamon ang hinaharap ng mga human rights advocates? Kasama na po yung galing sa legal community.
Ako po ay naging, sabihin na lang natin, biktima ng isang late night speech ng dating Pangulo. Paulit-ulit niya akong personal na nilalait at I found it very offensive because it had nothing to do with the work I was doing. But of course, Pangulo po siya. Gusto niya magsalita ng ganun, hindi ko siya mapipigilan. Aside from that, there were definitely dangers involved in assisting victims of the EJ case. Wala naman pong mga direct threats, pero minsan ay napapansin namin na mayroong mga lumilipot-libot at lalong-lalo na pag kinakausap namin ang mga testigo at biktima ng EJK survivors ay very security conscious kami dahil alam namin yung dangers nun. Naalala ko rin, Senator Risa, yung sa kaso nila Kian, na yung mga witnesses po ay nandun sa kay Bishop Ambo at may pagtatangka na kunin sila ng pulis. Mabuti na lang may mga media na andun at nung may balita na may ganun nga ay hindi na tinuloy.
Salamat, Attorney Jonko. Salamat ka, Mr. Chair. And I believe, speaking of dangers, we also have here today as resource persons former Senator Laila De Lima and former Mayor Jet Mabilog. Perhaps at the proper time, Mr. Chair, we could also hear them. Salamat ka, Mr. Chair.
I'll give them time na, Mayor Mabilog and Laila, if they want to give some opening statement. But after this question of mine to Colonel Spinido. Colonel, isa pa, one question. Ilang years ka sa police?
28, Your Honor.
Grabe yung mga operations mo, high profile, di ba? Paralinog, ikaw?
Yes,
Yung early morning raid sa bahay?
yes.
Ilang patay doon?
Ang patay. Simultaneous yun sa area sa 6 search warrant. 16, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Okay, basta operative yan, general, no? Operative. Okay. Sa entire 28 career mo, 28 years career mo sa police, ikaw ba'y nakatanggap ng instruction, whether in writing or sa pananalita, na ginamit ang word na neutralization bilang code na patayin?
Sa pagtanda ko, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, wala akong specific na sabihan na neutralize. Huli ay yung arrest, marami.
Okay, so ikaw ba'y nasabihan na arrest pero code word yun na patayin mo?
Hindi, Mr. Chair.
Ikaw ba'y nagamitan ng ibang word na code word sa napatayin mo?
Wala. May isa, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, yung trabahoin.
Okay.
Trabaho yung ganun. Pero
Anong basa mo, anong intindi mo doon sa trabahoin mo?
the result din, Mr. Chair, hulihin, yun lang talaga palagi ang...
Pero anong ending ng specific na trinabaho mo? Napatay o nahuli?
Nahuli. Nahuli yun.
Nahuli? Maalala mo pa pangalan, sino yung subject matter ng trabahuin mo na nahuli, ang ending ay nahuli din?
Mayor ng Gandara, Samar, Mr. Chair, with the person of Mayor Cabuños, at saka may apat yan na security na police na warranted.
Anong year yun?
2011, 2010, 11.
Yung pagtatanong ko sa iyo, credibility questions na ba ito? Kasi hindi naman drug war ba yan?
Hindi.
Just your credibility.
Yes, we commencing questioning Colonel Spinido.
Sana ng time lang kung may opening statement si Mayor Mabilog at saka si Senator Laila De Lima, and then after their opening statements, kung meron man, hindi ko ba ipipilitin, then we now open the questioning. But we will follow the order. May order tayo, tapos 10 minutes po tayo. Pero kung pwede mag-request, iklian natin mga 5 minutes per senator. Okay, so ladies first, Senator Laila De Lima, just in case you want to deliver a statement. Yes.
Very short.
Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
Very short, Your Honor. Mr. Chair and the honorable members of subcommittee conducting today's we can destroy and we need to destroy drugs, but we cannot destroy lives. Yan po ang sagot ko dun sa very passionate defense of the former president as to his policy of killing alleged drug offenders, alleged drug pushers, alleged drug users. We can destroy drugs, but we need not destroy lives. I just wish to emphasize that. I said that in my privilege speech in August 2016, after I filed a Senate inquiry, a resolution calling for Senate inquiry. This man, the former mayor of Davao City and the former president of the Republic of the Philippines, for so long have evaded justice and accountability for the thousands of those killed in the name of the so-called war on drugs. Hindi pa ho natin siya napapanagwa after all these years. And these killings had started nung time pa niya as mayor, yung phenomenon ng Davao Death Squad. Pinatuloy niya at nagiging klarado sa mga naririnig natin sa House of Representatives Quadcom hearings that yun din ang ginawang modelo ng war on drugs starting 2016. I was hoping that Colonel Garma and the others who already testified there at the Quadcom hearings, including also Kerwin Espinosa, would be here so that, our discussions, our presentations would be in sync with each other, or that we listen to them again, and then I will respond to them. Now, I responded to the crisis that we faced starting in 2016, as I said, by filing the resolution and by delivering a privilege speech. Ang problema, hindi ko po yun natuloy. Yung aking pag-imbestiga noong mga nangyayaring patayan early on nung naging Pangulo si Rodrigo Duterte. Malungkot po ako, or actually I have mixed feelings now. People have been asking me, how do you feel that you're again appearing before the Senate for the first time? I'm setting foot in the premises of the Senate. Ang sabi ko, mixed feelings dahil sana na noon pa hindi na natin hinintay yung libo-libong mga pinatay. Pero nagagalak naman ako that I think we have the right environment now. Sana po marami pa ang lumantad para magsabi pa kung ano talaga ang tunay na layunin ng Project Double Barrel. Yung kulang ko kasi noon, nung nag-investiga, when I presided over the Senate committee hearings, yes, we were able to present, actually, konti lang, dalawa lang ata out of the 13 available CHR witnesses. But because I was eventually ousted as the chairperson of the committee, after I presented Mr. Edgar Matubato, hindi na po yun natuloy. Pero, ang talagang magiging kulang ng investigation na yun ay yung mga insider na makakapagpatunay sa atin na yung Project Double Barrel is the very program that was used in eliminating and in killing drug suspects. Because malinaw sa mga naging pronouncements ng dating mayor, ng dating Pangulo, na yan ang pinaka-polisiya na niya in addressing the drug problem. Nasabi na ho kanina, yung mga examples, marami pa po yun. I have a whole collection of his statements, which really categorically show very clearly, manifestly, that he was inducing, encouraging the killings. And it cannot just be purely rhetoric. Kasi sinunod yung mga binanggit niya. Sinunod yung kanyang mga sinasabi na kailangang patayin ng mga yan. Nanlaban man o hindi, ang problema sa nanlaban, hindi ho kapani-paniwala. Siguro may ilan-ilan na may mga nanlaban talaga. Pero sa karamihan sa mga lumabas sa mga kwento ng mga ah, kaanak ng mga biktima ay karamihan sa kanila ay hindi nanlaban. Ano ba yung nangyari sa akin? Hindi lang sila nakontento na alisin ako bilang committee chairperson, but sinundan po ako ng katakot-takot na acts of persecution. Kasama na yung halos araw-araw na minumura, halos araw-araw na pinapahiya, halos araw-araw na I was deprived of my honor and because they tried to destroy my reputation. At hindi pa po sila nakontento doon, nag-file sila ng mga gawag-gawang mga kaso para subukan ako na mapatahimik. Hindi po sila nagtagumpay doon. Kahit nasa loob po ako sa pulungan, I continued to monitor what was happening. I had with me already the records ng Senate investigation, at least nung ako pa yung nag-preside. I even filed and submitted a comprehensive dissenting report doon sa naging majority report by the committee, the Gordon report. I filed a dissenting report. I also had the records of my investigation of the TTS phenomenon. Pero isa pong ang pwede natin makita doon is that hindi natin mga natapos yun kasi nandyan yung atmosphere of, or the atmosphere of fear, the culture of fear and impunity. Sa Davao, meron kaming ilang-ilang nakausap na sekreto, pero hindi naman sila pumayag na i-present sila publicly dun sa TTS inquiry ng CHR. Now, doon naman sa Senate inquiry, sabi ko nga, hindi naman talaga tinuloy. Kaya hindi kagulat-gulat na yung naging conclusion ng majority is that the killings were not state-sponsored. Kung binigyan sana ng pagkakataon na talagang ituloy yung investigasyon na yon, na mas magiging seryoso ang investigasyon, wala man lang iniisip na whitewash ng investigasyon because the then president was still at the height of his power, ay siguro pwede natin na-prove yun. Hindi nga po yun nangyari. Ngayon tayo umaasa na dahil dyan sa mga lumalabas na ng mga revelasyon, pwede. At nandyan na yung mga ebidensya na mga state-sponsored yung mga killings na yan. So, one last point, Mr. Chair.
1 minute.
All right. Now, gusto ko sanang magpaalam sa committee that in my presentation, not today, because yung presentation ko dapat na ano rin, isusundan ko yung kina Father Clary and then kay Attorney Job. No. Now I want also to present new angle. Gusto ko sana i-tie pa talaga, i-link pa talaga sa DDS killings yung mga nangyaring patayan since 2016 or pagpatay under the name of war on drugs. I would wish to ask for permission that that's going to be the focus, especially so na lumilinaw ngayon, sinimulan na nung testimony ni Colonel Agarma na yun ang ginawang model. I would not have the time now to really explain all of that, but I can really come up with a comprehensive summary ng mga sinabi noon nila Edgar Macabato, yung mga sinabi subsequently ni Arturo Las Cañas, who at first denied that there was a DDS, denied responsibility for the killings, denied that it was then Mayor Rodrigo Duterte responsible for that, but in a subsequent appearance, wala na po ako naman, nakakulong na po ako, he recanted and gave us this very comprehensive story, lalo na dun sa kanyang ICC affidavit. I would want to
Sige ma'am.
present
Yes ma'am. Okay.
a
Can you
comprehensive,
wrap up? Okay na po ma'am.
for now,
Okay, sige po. Ganito po. We will give you the time, pero pwede ba mag-request din ng committee, can you give us a preview of what you will be presenting? Siguro if you can organize also your observations and your findings in a memorandum or position paper type document.
I will
please
do
give
that.
us. Thank you.
I will do that, Your Honor, including the dissenting report and then including
Thank you, ma'am.
all the observations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just very short, very short. Can we have the assurance of Senator De Lima to be around once Kerwin Espinosa and Rooney Dayan will be present in this hearing? Because I'm going to ask him questions. Nandiyan na yung dalawa.
May I know who is Rolly Daya?
Rooney Dayan was a known driver of Senator De Lima. Mr. Chair.
Is he the partner of Senator De Lima?
Mr. Chair,
That was revealed by Rooney Dayan during the previous hearing many years ago, Mr. Chair.
Mr.
Okay,
Chair,
let's focus on our topic. Okay, gentlemen. Okay, sige po. Ganito, already moved na yata yung kanina pa, no? Na Ronnie Dayan will be invited to the next hearing. Senator Laila De Lima has manifested her intention to attend the next meeting. So, the next hearing. So, tugma-tugma lang.
Yes, Your Honor, because
you want to
that's
respond?
where I will make a
Yes, yes.
comprehensive presentation and also comment on those revelations by Mr. Kerwin Espinosa during the Quadcom, and perhaps he's expected to reiterate that here. I was hoping he would be here, including
You will be there as a resource person, ma'am. You'll be there as a resource person, not to defend yourself. Wala, kundi resource person po kayo. Okay, okay, so Senate
Thank you,
President.
Mr. Chair. A few questions addressed to former Senator De Lima. During your time as chairperson of the Commission on Human Rights, when did you start serving as the chairman of the Commission on Human Rights? If I may ask?
I was appointed in 2008
Up to 2010.
to 2010, when I was appointed as Secretary of Justice.
Did you conduct investigations regarding EJ case?
Yes, the CHR and bank conducted the public inquiry right there in Davao City.
May I know kung ano-ano po yung mga lugar na inimbestigahan niyo po sa EJ case?
Yung tungkol pa sa lugar, it was actually the entirety of Davao City because of the phenomenon of TDS. At inimbitahan nga po namin the former mayor who appeared and acted as resource person, and mga ilan-ilan ng mga opisyal, maraming opisyal actually, the city councilors, barangay chairman, PNP officials. Only that, halos wala na nag-appear dun sa mga nakausap namin discreetly, confidentially, who shared their knowledge about the DDS. These are also self-confessed DDS members, just like Edgar Matubato. Kaya lang po, in the 2009 inquiry, wala pa po sila Edgar Matubato and Arturo Las Cañas. Na-mention yung mga pangalan nila, pero wala pa po sila doon. Hindi pa po namin sila na-access at hindi po na-present doon sa DDS inquiry.
So wala po kayong results ng investigation. Were there any cases filed because of your investigation, Madam Senator?
Okay, when I was appointed in 2010, meron po ako yung aking mga personal investigation notes, pero wala pa po yung naging resolution. Now we turned over the records to the Commission on Human Rights, and then later they came out with the resolution. Now that was, I think, in 2012, June 20, 2012. Yung resolution nila, one of the recommendations is for the filing of an administrative and criminal cases against then former Mayor Rodrigo Duterte and some other officials. What I know is that this was referred to the office of the Ombudsman, but I think later on, Mr. Duterte was cleared of, there was no finding or no cases filed.
So the former president was cleared.
No, it was not really cleared because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the main reason why no cases were filed with the Ombudsman against former Mayor Duterte and then President Duterte is that uh, nung ano na po, nung dinabas na po yung ano nila from the ombudsman is he was already the president.
Well,
So on
during,
the
in the course of
presidential
your
immunity.
in the course of your investigation, when you were CHR chairman, and you thought, I mean, you think that the former president was involved in killings in his hometown in Davao, why didn't you file cases against him?
The investigation was conducted. But the problem was that those who were in the know, yung konti ho, ng mga self-confessed DDS members at that time, they're not willing to testify.
When you were DOJ secretary, why didn't you file a case against the former president? You had all the means, you had all the power. When you were secretary of the Department of
I actually referred the matter of when Edgar Matubato came to us for witness protection. I referred po ulit yung the DDS matter
So what
to
happened?
the wala po.
Bakit wala? You were a very, very powerful member of the cabinet during the Aquino administration. You did not do anything
It's not
to
that I
pursue
did
the
not
case?
do anything.
To pursue
It's
the
just
case?
that I asked the NBI to pursue further the investigation. Pero wala na po na i-submit sa akin na report. They were telling me that they had also so much difficulty accessing possible witnesses at the time.
All right. One more thing, Madam Former Senator. Why is it only in Davao that you had this investigation? Bakit Davao lang? Why were you so focused? Why are you so concentrated in investigating Davao?
We were focused on investigating the so-called TDS phenomenon because we have read some reports about it. Foremost of which was the report of the UN Special Rapporteur Philip Alston. And he did come out with that report citing certain findings of the UN Special Rapporteur Philip Alston. And meron din pong report, yung Human Rights Watch, they called it, "You Can Die Anytime," also referring to the DDS phenomenon. So we felt at that time, because of these reports, and our CHR regional office did confirm that there were killings, but they could not tell us, or they refused to tell us that it was actually the doings of the DDS on orders of then Mayor Rodrigo Duterte. But the insiders, the ones I mentioned kanina, I think there were 3 of them, which we interviewed secretly or discreetly. They did say that there was such a thing as a group as a Davao Death Squad, and then formed by the former mayor, and then getting orders also from the former mayor, something that were validated later on by Edgar Matubato and Arturo Las Cañas.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I would like to invite the attention of former Senator. She was still a sitting member of the Senate. With regard to the committee report, the Committee on Justice there, for the years, if I may read, for the years 2001 to 2009, under the Arroyo administration, 91,762 killings were reported, for an average of 10.196 killings per year, 850 killings per month, or 28 killings per day. On the other hand, for the years 2010 to 2016, under the Aquino administration, there were 85,878 recorded killings, with an average of 40,313 killings per year, 1,193 killings per month, or 40 killings per day. You were the Justice Secretary during the Aquino administration. Why did you not investigate this killings?
All right. May I start by saying that on the matter of EJ case in general, especially with respect to the killings of activists, I did recommend, and it was adopted. There was this administrative order number 35, creating an interagency committee to look into the various drug killings, the various activist killings, targeting members of progressive groups, leftist organizations, and that was somewhat rampant during the time of former President Arroyo. Now, bakit wala pa po yung drug killings? Kasi nga po, pinapapursu ko pa sa NBI. It was not the real focus then of Administrative Number 35, which is the Special Interagency Committee to address extrajudicial killings. Now, talking about the Gordon report, you mentioned the Justice Committee report, which was subsequently headed by former Senator Dick Gordon. Sinabi nga niya po yun, na bakit yung EJ case lang, bakit yung ibang mga EJ case ay hindi natin kailangan imbestigahan, hindi natin inimbestigahan dun sa Senate Committee. Mukhang may problema po sa ganun. Kasi ang nakita ng committee, ng majority committee in coming up with that committee report is that, well, hindi actually nila nakita na may special complexion at the time, at the start of the drug killings beginning 2016 under the Duterte administration. I'm not talking about the drug war killings kasi wala namang ganong war on drugs specifically in Davao City, although among those, or many of those victimized, were also alleged drug offenders, aside from petty criminals and other kinds of criminals. So, nakita dapat yun, and that was the very point of my resolution that I filed calling for an inquiry, na medyo ibang phenomenon ito ngayon sa war on drugs, na ito sa ngalan ng war on drugs ay may mga pinapatay in numbers, substantial numbers, in the name of war on drugs. Kaya dapat, hindi yun naging issue talaga. Bakit hindi na lang natin imbestigahan yung buong mga pangyayari ng mga EJ case in various administrations? What they failed to appreciate, I'm talking about the committee report, is that the focus of my investigation ay yung mga dumadami na halos araw-araw na pinapatay since day one of the former president's assumption into office. And even before his official assumption into office, meron na talaga na mga pinapatay araw-araw, halos araw-araw, nakita natin yun. So that's supposed to be
Mr. Chair, take a minute, Senate President Potem. Reminder to everyone, especially the members of the committee. Ang subcommittee natin, ang instruction natin, Philippine War on Illegal Drugs. Okay. I know malaking overlap niya sa EJK because marami siguro nga napatay in the name of Philippine War on Illegal Drugs. But this is not strictly an EJK hearing or investigation. Okay? Basta klaruhin ko lang po sa inyo lahat, lalo na sa members ng subcommittee. May mother committee tayo, yun ang instruction sa atin. Investigate the Philippine War on Illegal Drugs. Okay, so if I may continue.
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
can you extend that statement of yours to all members of the Senate? Because I'm not a member of the
Yeah, there you will be.
I was just
there will be.
I was just making to ensure that all members are oriented properly.
Mr. Chair, I would just like to wrap up my questioning to Senator De Lima. But I would like to put it on record that the resource person, the former senator, did not answer directly my question, Mr. Chair. And I might be mistaken of defending the former president. I am not defending the former president. In fact, if it is his turn to answer questions, I will ask questions also.
Darating po tayo. So, anyways, Senator De Lima will be present in the future hearings. Yes, Senator Lisa.
Hello. Yes, salamat tayo, Mr. Chair. Just a brief manifestation. Kanina mention was made of a resource person na iimbitahin din natin to the next hearing. And a personal detail about that resource person. Gusto ko lang i-make of record na it is already common knowledge na dahil isang leader, si Laila de Lima, nung siya ay senador, at siya ay babae, mineponize talaga yung batas laban sa kanya in the most sexist and misogynistic way. Lalo na sa, unfortunately, at that time, yung kabilang house. So, I look forward dun sa ipepresent niya sa committee ito, Mr. Chair, yung kanyang pag-aaral, comparison, yung napag-alaman nung CHR, nung siya ay chair, tungkol sa mga extrajudicial killings sa Davao City at comparison nun sa nakita nilang ng komite niya dito sa Senado na EJ case panahon ng war on drugs. And I look forward na hindi natin papayagang maulit yung pambabastos na ginawa sa kanya, lalo na sa kabilang house noon at sa online trolling na ginawa laban sa kanya bilang isang leader at bilang isang babae. Just for the record, Mr. Chair, with full confidence that our committee, subcommittee, and our Senate will uphold that. Daghang salamat, Mr. Chair.
Senator Bato, Senator Balsa.
Yes, Mr. Chair. First of all, I just would like to be clarified because the beginning of the hearing, you told us that Senator Joel Villanueva is being appointed by you as the Vice Chairman of this subcommittee. So therefore, he's a member of this committee. He's claiming to be that.
No, he will be a member. Everything will be fixed, Mr.
Thank you.
I'm willing to be questioned by Senator.
No.
If there's any question that I would like to
we will
raise.
fix everything.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Mr. Chair, I just would like to put on record my observation in this committee hearing that in this committee hearing, our resource persons are given even 10 to 15 to beyond the 15 minutes time to speak up. Unlike what happened in the Quadcom in the lower house, wherein kawawa ang mga pulis na ginawang resource person doon. This question is answerable by yes or no. Yes lang or no lang. No more explanation. Pero dito, Mr. Chair, we are treating our resource person with dignity and respect. So I just would like to put it on record, Mr. Chair. And as a follow-up to the question of our majority, our Senate Pro Tempore, to Senator De Lima, Mr. Chair, isn't it the fact that NBI is operationally and administratively under the Department of Justice?
It is.
Yes. So if it is, if you are morally convinced about the wrongdoings of the former mayor of Davao City about these killings, bakit mo po hinahayaan lang na walang report yung NBI sa iyo? You have instructed the NBI to follow up on this investigation. Tapos natapos na lang yung buong year, 6 years of the Aquino administration, hindi ka nakapag-file ng kaso kay President Duterte. Is that malfeasance on your part as the Secretary of Justice, wherein you are morally convinced na may ginawang masama si Pangulong Mayor Duterte. Tapos ngayon, hinayaan mo lang NBI na walang ginawa, walang binalik na report, or baka sinabihan ka ng NBI, ma'am, ang ating kaso will not stand in court. Baka gano'n sinabi sa iyo. Kaya wala na nangyayari doon sa ginawa mong tasking sa NBI.
Can we request for a brief answer?
My brief answer is that I did make certain follow-ups, and there was reports from the NBI, verbal reports, when I asked about them and that what would they tell me? That nahihirapan sila na mag-access sa Davao ng mga possible witnesses.
Can I have the name of the NBI chief during that time na kinausap na sinabihan niya? Prrd lang.
NBI, yeah. Is it, yeah,
Paki-recall na lang, ma'am. And then once you
Yes.
recall, tell us. Okay. Nandito pa kasi ako sa time na I'm giving the victims the chance nga to speak out and to air. Okay, nandito pa tayo. Dalawa na lang naman yung ang tatanungin ko. Okay, Mayor Mabilog, you want to say something? Pwedeng hindi, pwedeng meron. Nasa sa'yo.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, honorable members of the subcommittee on the Blue Ribbon Committee. Good afternoon po. First and foremost, gusto ko lang po sabihin na I was not and never will be a drug protector. I don't know personally nor did I benefit in any way from any illegal drug personality in Iloilo or elsewhere. Naging Kabataang Barangay Chairman po ako, City Councilor, Vice Mayor, and Mayor for 6 years. And kahit naging Mayor ako for 6 years, kahit wala po akong formal training as Mayor on addressing illegal or crime or illegal drugs, wala pong training na binigay po sa amin. I took decisive action to combat the drug problem of the city. As a matter of fact, it was even recognized on the national level by both the PDEA and the police, PNP, in 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. So, as mayor in the beginning, as mandated by law, I am aware of my authority to set local policies and priorities related to crime and drugs. I'm also aware that the law that dictates that the PNP and the PDEA handle crime investigation and response and the combating of drug trafficking and enforcement of drug laws, while the mayor relies on the police and the PDEA to implement them. So until such time that my name was included in the list, and until that I was granted political asylum to the United States of America government, and that's why I'm here, Mr. Chair, to at the behest of the Senate, as a matter of courtesy to this institution, to answer the best of my knowledge questions related to the inquiry. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Okay. Last ko na gusto mo i-recognize ngayong hapon na is upon the request of Attorney Joe, si Roger Herrero. Pero wala siyang affidavit. So ito na lang ang request ko. Attorney Joe, can you prepare the affidavit of Roger Herrero? Give it to us before his actual appearance before this committee. I will give him time sa second hearing as a victim. We will do that. Kasi mabigat na storya ko nito. So now,
Mr. Chair,
yes,
bago natin iwan po yung salamat kaayo, Mr. Chair, before we leave the victim families, also for the information of the committee, nandito rin po kasama natin si Vincent Go, ng tinawag nila sarili nila night crawlers. Sila po yung mga photojournalists na dinocument yung EJ case all throughout the war on drugs. So available din po sila, Mr. Chair, to answer any questions of the senators.
Vincent Go,
Mr. Chair.
can I make the request to your organization, Night Crawlers, if you can make a 5-minute presentation sa next hearing? I expect na maganda mga pictures to kasi I think you're a photojournalist or photographer. So, sa next hearing na po, Mr. Go, please organize your data. So nasabi ko na yun, so we will now go into the questioning proper by the senators by order of appearance, but we give priority to our officers. But ganito, wala kasi sila Colonel Garma at si Colonel Donato. But since public knowledge na naman yung sinabi nila, okay, widely publicized na, I will allow questioning on those matters. Kung gusto lang po ng mga members ng committee. Okay, so sila former Secretary Panelo at saka former Secretary Belica invited by Senator Bongo. I can give you 3 minutes for opening statement if you want.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. President?
may I interrupt you?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, but I have to respond to the remark. Senator De Lima. It is only fair. Bigyan niyo ako ng 1 minute. And I have read, this is part of my speech, but I want to make it of record. Ito yung the long and short sa trabaho nung mayor ako pati presidente ako is that the job nung dalawang trabaho was never easy and it was not meant to be. I have tried to do the best I can to address the problem of illegal drugs and without compromise. Kasali na lahat yung naririnig niyo. Whatever it is, hindi ako nag-compromise. Sinabi ko ito, pagka pumasok kayo dyan, walang compromise, walang ariglo, walang usapan. Do not do it in my city. Nung presidente ako, sabi ko, bitawan ninyo. Kasi pag hindi, magkakaroon talaga tayo ng problema. Ito na nga itong ngayon. As I've tried to do the best I can to address the problem of illegal drugs firmly and without compromise. Yan ang gusto ko lang iiwan dito bago ako alis. O bago ako alis sa mundong ito. For all of its successes and shortcomings, it was not a perfect one. Maraming mali. Baka may maraming krimen. Alam mo, gusto ko lang iiwan ito sa Pilipino. I would never have any other chance maybe in the future. That for all of the successes and mali kung ano, I and I alone take full legal, moral responsibility. Yan ang iniiwan ko. I am ready for your question.
Thank you. So, okay, so I assume Attorney Panelo, Attorney Mr. Belica, no more opening statement? I have, Your Honor. Sige, can we observe strictly 3 minutes? Yes, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I, Salvador Panalo, hereby depose state under oath that from July 2016 to October 2021, was the Chief Presidential Legal Counsel of then President Rodrigo Roa Duterte from October 2018 to April 2020. I also served as Presidential Spokesperson of PRRD. As Chief Presidential Legal Counsel, I provided legal advice to PRRD on various matters and issued statements providing legal support for the actions of PRRD and its administration. As Presidential Spokesperson, I spoke on behalf of PRRD on matters of public interest, actions, policies, programs, official duties, and accomplishments of his administration. In connection with the Philippine War on Drugs, which is the subject of the investigation in aid of legislation of the Committee on Accountability of Public Officers, the investigation of the Blue Ribbon Committee of the Senate of the Republic of the Philippines. I had no participation therein, apart from issuing statements on behalf of or in support of PRRD or responding to queries from the media on statements from PRRD on the matter in my capacity as Chief Presidential Legal Counsel and Presidential Spokesperson. During my tenure as Chief Presidential Legal Counsel and Presidential Spokesperson, and even thereafter, I did not observe or otherwise acquire knowledge of any malfeasance, misfeasance, or nonfeasance in connection with the war on drugs by any government official, including former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Senator and former Special Assistant to the President Christopher Lawrence Bongo, and Senator and former Chief of the Philippine National Police Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Specifically, I did not observe or otherwise acquire knowledge of any reward system for killing of illegal drug personalities, any orders to kill drug lords or to implicate political opponents in the illegal drug trade, or any other illegalities alleged before the Committee on Dangerous Drugs, Public Order and Safety, Human Rights and Public Accounts, or the Quad Committee of the House of Representatives. From my point of view, can you wind up, sir? Yes. Last paragraph. Okay, go ahead, sir. From my point of view, there was nothing illegal with PRRD's war on drugs because it was a legal and necessary response to the country's pervasive and destructive drug problem. PRRD merely complied with his constitutional duty, which is his prime duty, to serve and to protect the people, and his campaign promise and mandate to rid the country of the drug menace. Salamat po, sir. Thank you that you submitted an affidavit. Mr. Belica, pero keep it within 3 minutes. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am Greco Belica, former Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission Chairman. And I'm executing this sworn statement to comply with the directive of the Philippine Senate's Authority of Public Officers. An investigation, subcommittee in relations is motor proprio investigation in the aid of legislation on the Philippine war on illegal drugs. That President Duterte created the now defunct PACC through Executive Order number 43, which was signed in October 4, 2017. That the PACC was created under the Office of the President to directly assist the President in investigating and or hearing administrative cases primarily involving graft and corruption against all presidential appointees as defined by Section 5 EU 43, and to perform such other duties as the President may direct. That on January 12, 2018, I was appointed as one of the 4 commissioners of the PACC and 1 chairman. Thereafter, in March 15, 2021, I was appointed as chairman of the PACC following the passing of my predecessor. And I left office at October 8, 2021 when I filed my certificate of candidacy to run in the election. That my previous position and function, as well as jurisdiction of the PACC, did not extend to any investigations and operations on illegal drugs, but mainly focus on investigation over alleged graft and corrupt practices by presidential appointees within the executive branch of government. The paragraph A, section 5 of EU 40 define the scopes and jurisdiction of the PACC that states the Commission shall have the power on complaint or motu proprio and concurrency with the Office of the Ombudsman to hear, investigate, receive, gather, and evaluate evidences, intelligence reports, and information in administrative cases against all presidential appointees of the executive branch. of government. Occupying the position of Assistant Regional Director or equivalent to the rank higher otherwise classified by salary grade 26 up, including the members of the governing board of instrumentality. Not consistent with Section 10 EU 43, complaints and cases filed or extended to PECC relating to possible violation of RA 9165 are immediately referred to PDEA, DOJ, PNP, NBI for proper investigation. To the best of my knowledge and recollection, all illegal drug-related matters outside PECC's jurisdiction were referred to these agencies. That outside from my previous official position in the PECC, the only involvement that I personally had with respect to the anti-illegal drug campaign of the president, of the government, before and after President Duterte is in my personal capacity as a minister of the gospel and founding chairman of the Yeshua Change Agents Organization.
I will let you finish the paragraph. Just continue.
Through the YC, I have helped and continue to help in the demand reduction program of the government by helping in the prevention campaign of those at risk of illegal drug use, as well as the rehabilitation and recovering of former drug defenders.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I have a copy of your affidavit. Salamat po. Thank you. So now we will commence with our questioning by the senators. Upon the request of Senator Bato de la Rosa, is the Colonel Grijaldo here? Colonel Grijaldo, upo po kayo dito kasama namin. Wala. I mean, Senator de la Rosa will be the one to introduce him maybe when he asks questions too, directed to Colonel Grijaldo. Okay, so pursuant to our guidelines, we will now commence the questioning. We will have to start with our Senate officers. So I now recognize Senator Jingoy Estrada. You have 10 minutes, sir. 10 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Some questions addressed to the President. Mr. President, kanina pa ko kayo tingin sa amin. Lagi kayo tumitingin sa kanan. Hindi ko kayo tumitingin sa kaliwa. Nagpapansinan ko kayo ni Senator De Lima.
Walang dyan, dito lang.
And
Mr. Chair.
to be serious,
Yes,
on a serious
Mr.
note,
Chair,
I
think,
I beg
Senator
the
Jingoy,
SP Pro Tempore to lead us in setting the tone that this is not a laughing matter.
I'm
Yes,
not,
Salamat, Mr. Chair.
I was not joking.
I was just, parang lighten lang yung Mr. Chair. Anyway, on a serious note,
Yes.
Mr.
Continue.
How do you assess the campaign against legal drugs during your time, Mr. President? Do you consider it as a success, Mr. President?
Mr. Senator, it is a continuing problem for the country and for the entire world. The drug problem is a very serious and pernicious, virulent ailment that the country is facing. Panahon ko and the previous presidential. Yung panahon ko, hindi siguro rin yung nagustuhan, not you. Yung the entire country, I am addressing the entire country. Baka hindi rin yung nagustuhan. But yun ang style. Sinabi ko nga, I tried to do the best that I could. Eh kung nagkulang ako, pasensya. Pero ang solusyon during my time was the call of duty of the president. Ako yun. Kasi ako yung presidente sa panahon. At hindi ako nagkulang, Mr. Senator. Nag-warning ako lahat narinig ng Pilipinas. Puminto kayo sa droga, bitawan ninyo, drop it. Kasi magkakaproblema talaga tayo. Pag nakita tayo sa isang kanto at may hawak mo ang droga, problema na talaga yan. So, yun, kakaroon tayo ng problema. May patayan. But it was not state-sponsored killing. There was never an official order to the police and the military and to agents of government to kill. Andyan si Senator De La Rosa. Wala akong sinabi na gano'n kasi abogado ako. Ang sinabi ko, yung sinabi ko nung natuturo ako sa Police Academy, that in your fulfillment of duty, yung elements of self-defense would apply to you because you are trying to arrest a person. Alam mo, ang trabaho ng pulis kasi, pag sinabi mong aarestuhin kita, hindi hinto dyan. The police must arrest and overcome the resistance para madala mo yung kriminal doon sa istasyon at ma-book mo para makulong. Yan ang problema at naawa ako sa mga pulis. Hindi mo masabi, bitawan mo yung baril at pag hindi sumunod, sabihin lang ng pulis, o sige, bukas makita tayo dito, huwag ka nang magdala ng baril. Hindi yun ang tinuro ko sa kanila. Nagtuturo ako sa Police Academy. Yan lahat yan sila tumaan sa akin. Yan, because yan ang turo ng sa College of Law. That's the law. Kung ano yung sinabi ko sa police, batas yan. Walang compromise dyan when you are arresting a person. If he resists, pag ayaw magpa-aresto, you have to overcome him. His resistance. Ngayon, pag lumaban, nagkaletse-letse, may baril, may magpataya talaga. Kaya yan ang problema ng pulis, kaya naawa ako. Kaya ako rin nandito, guns, siguro, paano na lang, God sent yung invitation. Naawa ako dito sa mga pulis na tinatawag ninyo at inaano ninyo, yung trabaho ng pulis kasi involves personal contact. Walang trabaho sa pulis, sabihin niya, halika dito, bitawan mo yan, surrender ka, sumama ka sa akin. It is always a confrontation, and if the other guy is armed, there will always be kamatayan or injury.
Mr. President, if I may,
Yes, sir.
kasi napapanood ko kayo sa TV, kung hindi pa ako sila during your term, na meron mo kayo sinasabi, ubusin ko kayo, papatay ko kayo. Ano po ibig sabihin? Sino po yung uubusin ninyo? Sino yung papatay ninyo? Ito ba yung mga user, pusher ng illegal drugs?
Yes, sir. Lahat. Pulled upper, kidnappers.
Not, hindi lang sa drugs.
Hindi lang droga, sir. Lahat po. When I was mayor, kalaban ko lahat ang kriminal. Kung naman yung mga staff, wala akong alam dyan mga yung mag-cheke-cheke. Yung mga kidnappers sa Mindanao po, marami yan. At yung mga lawless elements zone, when they go on a rampage, they take over the entire municipality.
i-hostage nila yung municipality, yung bangko lahat doon, hinuhold up, at yung police hindi makagalaw kasi nakapalibot sila and there are civilians. And they cannot start a war because these civilians eventually will be killed in the process. Pati sila.
Nung sinabi niyo pong uubusin ko kayo lahat, papatayin ko kayo lahat, ito ba ko yung naging resulta kaya marami kong naging patayan?
Literally, yes.
So, pero wala ko kayong inuutos sa mga